Well, hello there fans, and welcome back to the Coventry Skydome for this, the NIHL Final Four, second semi-final for you all, as the Peterborough Phantoms take on the Sheffield Steeldogs. The Hull Pirates await in the final following their victory over the Bracknell Bees earlier on today, but it's going to be very interesting to see who will be joining them there between what could be quite an intriguing matchup here. Mark Denham joining me in the commentary box as he is all weekend. Game number one wasn't quite the goal fest that we expected it to be in some respects, in both teams going at it. This one has got this intriguing interest, the two sides that like to set up quite tightly defensively, and it's going to be whether who comes out and plays the different style of play.
It's going to be very contrasting in the final tomorrow, because Hull Pirates definitely opened up and they played attacking hockey in the first semi-final. As you say, both of these, if they get a lead, they will try and close down that lead. Hull Pirates got themselves a lead, swinging that first game around very quickly. In just a minute and a half, they swung the game around, but they continued going. Both of these teams are more defensively based.
And of course, obviously, the Peterborough Phantoms come into this game having won the Southern playoffs, so they are the nominal home team for this match as well. Also worth pointing out as well that the Phantoms are going for what is quite an unbelievable quadruple this weekend following their success in the Autumn Cup, and the South Cup and the Southern playoffs as well. It was also like we got too many trophies in this league.
Well, isn't it? When was the last time there was an opportunity to win a quadruple?
It's been well, that's because of the number of trophies in the league, but that's by the by. It's almost like completing the Grand Slam. If only they'd been able to hold on to that league title. That I think in a realistic world, there's a lot of Phantom fans wishes they had actually done that as well, because they probably were over the course of the season the stronger team. It was just a little bit of a blip at the wrong time, and it cost them the league title.
At Christmas, they were there or thereabouts, weren't they, for the league title? But then after Christmas, there was the game in Bracknell, I think, that cost them, wasn't it? Slava Kulikov away with GB. Phantoms went down 8-2. And at that point in time as well, Swindon started to really hit their straps.
Right then, let's have a look at the lineups for tonight's game. And of course, we'll start with the Peterborough Phantoms as the nominal home side. So let's get the team list up for you now, and I'm appearing in the background of this one. So number 2 is Tom Norton, there's 11 is Scott Robson, in 12 is Nathan Pollard with James White in 13, 17 is James Ferrara, 23 Bradley Bowering, he will not be icing tonight for the Peterborough Phantoms. Will Weldon in 29 with Jordan Marr in 33, Robert Ferrara in 37, with 40 is Petr Stepaniak, one of the non-EIHA trained players in this match. 44 Ryan Bainborough, he's the backup netminder. Callum Buglas in 45 with Corey McEwen in 71. Glenn Billing in 72, heck of a player. I like how his career has continued to develop, with Taylor Romeo in 73. Martin Sisters off his 4-goal game last Sunday for the Phantoms. Jack Escott in 88, Alesh Padalek in 93, Jarvis Hunt in 96, Nathan Long in 97. It's a potent lineup, that one, for the Phantoms, you can understand. And the other thing about it as well, it's been a real core for Slava Kulikov, who is their head coach. He's had this side together for quite a few years, just adding in the odd piece here and there. But the likes of the Ferraras, the Weldons, they've been there years, they've bought into his culture, and they're now delivering the success.
Yes, Slava inherited quite a tightly knit core when he went there after leaving Slough, and he has retained that core. But not only that, he's then built his own core as well, and he's united it. They all buy into his system, they all play his way. And I think if you think back to that game in Bracknell, we saw that, because when he was away 8-2, the Phantoms just didn't perform as well in that game as they did with him at the core. So I think they buy into Slava as their coach, they respect him, and they buy into Slava's systems, and it works well for them. They have the talent to be able to execute the game plan Slava wants.
Indeed, and the man who's really integral to a lot of that and how they turn out is number 71 for the Peterborough Phantoms. That's Corey McEwen. I love this guy as a player. Every time I see him on the ice, I just think he's got the absolute heads-up play, he's got the stick skills, he's got the skating skills. And for a guy so young, obviously great pedigree with his father, but for a guy so young, he seems to have that veteran head on his shoulders. He just seems to know, right, this is the play to make at this moment. He's not trying to rush anything. He's not trying to do anything out of the ordinary. He's just trying to make the simple play every time. And it's so effective, and you see it with the Phantoms. I expect to see it tonight. A lot of the play will go through McEwen. When he's on the ice, they will look to him to be the quarterback on that play, just in a normal offensive lineup. How about yourself? What are you looking out for in the Phantoms lineup tonight?
I'm looking at 93, Alice Padlek, who's been around the game for a while now in this country. He first came in and signed at Slough, and there were those that doubted him. There were those that said, no, he's not cut out for this league. Took him a little while to adjust, but since he's adjusted, he has gone on to be one of the premier imports in this league. He can turn it on, he can score you quality goals, but then he can equally score you chippy little dirty goals as well. And he's a good go-to guy. He's led the Phantoms well this year in terms of their points production. quality guy, and I'm sure, you know, one that Slava will be looking to keep hold of if he can for next season.
Definitely not just picking the ex-Slough Jet player there. Definitely not just picking that one there. No, it's true, because Alex is really proven this season that you don't need to be an all-action impact player. You don't need to be the quickest guy on the ice. You just need to be effective, and that's what he is. He's just effective.
He often goes about his business unnoticed. That's the thing. He goes about his business unnoticed, but when you get to the end of the season, you think, oh, wow, look at what he's done.
Right then, let's look at their opponents for tonight. They are the Sheffield Steeldogs, and let's see how they line up for tonight's matches. And there will be a few changes to what I've put up on the board here. So foreign captain is Lewis Bell, Ben Morgan, the player head coach, in 6, Tom Barry in 9 with Tom Relf in 11, Joe Cross in 12 with James Spur in 14, Andrew Hurst in 17. Cameron Brownlee doesn't make it to the ice tonight. Brandon Stones, he will be the starting netminder for the Sheffield Steeldogs tonight. We'll get onto that in just a minute. Liam Charnock in 21, Jamie Scott in 25. Alex Graham is another non-icer for the Sheffield Steeldogs tonight. He is away on GB under-18 duty, and we wish him all the well as he represents our nation. In 30 tonight will be Curtis Warburton as the backup netminder for the Sheffield Steeldogs, because number 34, Dimitri Zamostra, will not be icing at all. 38 is Duncan Spears, with 42 is Tim Smith. Ashley Calvert in 51 with Aaron Jepson in 53. Milan Kalina is one of the non-EIHA trained players in 67 with Charlie Thompson in 81. Adrian Palak in 86 is the other non-EIHA trained player. And in number 91, Nathan Salem.
That's almost familiar lineup, isn't it, for Sheffield? They've tinkered with that lineup over the years, but if you think back to their EPL team that we would have seen a couple of years ago, there's quite a lot of names in there that just ring a little bell and say, oh yeah, I remember him, I remember him, I remember him.
Yeah, indeed, and it's also funny how look, they do have the great academy in Sheffield. It is a hockey hotbed. It's possibly our version of Detroit in this country, just with the opportunities that they have there. Guys like Duncan Spears coming in this season and doing that. And one of the guys I'm looking at for tonight is the man between the pipes for the Sheffield Steeldogs, number 20. That is Brandon Stones. Now, let's go into a little bit of an explanation here, boys and girls, because you'll all know Dimitri Zamostra was indeed the all-star number 1 in the North for his play this year in the Steeldogs net. Unfortunately, he will be missing from this evening's encounter following the incident that occurred in the first leg of the playoff final. At the end of it, towards the end of the game, he is serving a suspension tonight. So a lot of pressure on Brandon Stones to step up here and deliver for the Steeldogs. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. The other day he came out 6-2 against what we've already seen as a potent Hull Pirates lineup. As much as they can set up tightly with the likes of Ben Morgan at the back and the likes of the players through the middle as well, he's got to really turn it on if they're to have any chance of getting anything out of this game. A
lot of their success, let's not forget, they finished runner-up in the North League this year. They finished runner-up in the North Playoffs this year, and they won the Autumn Trophy as well in the North. But let's not forget, a lot of that was based around Zamostra, who, as you said, isn't here tonight because of the incident last weekend. First semi-final last week ended 2-2. Now, Zamostra played 50 minutes of that. 2-2 the first semi-final finished before Hull ran away in the second. No, sorry, in the final.
7-7 in the first.
7-7 was it?
7-7.
Wow, 7-7.
Yeah.
A lot of goals there, and I've missed 5 of them. 10 of them, in fact. But there's a lot of goals.
There's a lot of goals.
But no, there's a lot of pressure because the Steeldogs will be looking to add to their one trophy this year. And because he's kind of coming now at this crucial time of the season, it's not like he's eased himself in. He's just now got to perform, especially off the back of last weekend's Sunday result as well.
Indeed. So if he manages to keep it out of the back and the defence hold firm as well, who's going to have to turn it on up top for them?
Up top for them, I'm looking at Milan Kalina, who's been a good servant for the Steeldogs this year. Scored well in the regular season, he leads them in the post-season, and if he can get going, he's going to test out the Phantoms net. But it's all the key on how well they can get the play going forward, because crucially the netminder often starts a good transitional play. If they can get the puck to Kalina, he can possibly do damage up front against the Phantoms.
It's going to be about him being a game breaker for me. He's got to control his emotion. He is a fairly emotional player at times as well. He needs to keep control of his emotions, because those Carmeds, they've got a lot of talent up top, the likes of Ashley Calvert. I've always loved Andrew Hurst as a player. I think he's an absolutely outstanding forward that gets really underplayed by a lot of people in this league. But I think his talent is so high. If Kalina turns up and is able to just put the sugar on the top, you never know, this Peterborough team, it might upset them a little bit. That being said, when we look at the predictions, I think there's only really one direction I'm going in. I do think the Phantoms are going to run out with this one. I'm even going to go like 4-1, 5-1. We're talking a fairly comfortable performance tonight from the Phantoms.
I'm going to back you on that this time. I disagreed with you last time, and I was wrong. It's not because I was wrong I'm going to back you, but I just think with the Steeldogs, the change of netminder is going to be a totally different team dynamic for them. The Phantoms are a good team. If they can get a couple on the board early, maybe get 2 ahead, maybe 3 ahead, they can close that game down. They will still score, but they won't go running out looking for scoring chances. And if they get there, they are a good team at closing down a game.
So that's it for the DVD recording there. Thank you everybody who's joined us on the stream, of course. Hopefully you enjoyed that game one. It was certainly mixed feelings throughout the building, I think, has so far been said about it. Is that you got some people saying it wasn't a good hockey game. I think it was a very effective hockey game. The more you reflect on it, Pirates, yeah, they were 2-0 down, but they were effective. They set their stall up in neutral ice, they set their stall up on the offensive end, and the Bees had no answers.
I struggle to call that not a good game, because I think it was a good game. It turned out, no Brucey bonus for the Bees though.
No.
It turned out that the Bees capitalised on very few chances in the first period, but then Hull just closed them down, but not at the expense of a boring game. They carried on playing an attacking game. The Bees carried on trying. Both teams had a chance going into that final period, but Hull closed it out. It was a good game. There were a lot of great plays on show from Hull, some good net minding at both ends of the ice as well, and we saw Hull's potent fire up front. So no, I wouldn't say that it's not a good game.
Neither would I. Right then, we're going to take a little bit of a breather here. We're just coming to the end of the warm-up here at the Skydome. Let's get a chance to refresh our own beverages, get some water down us, get some more pizza maybe that got delivered up to us as well. We'll be back with all the action from the second semi-final very shortly. Welcome along to the Coventry Skydome. As you can see, the Peterborough Phantoms have made their way out onto the ice, and we now get the usual fun here in Coventry, the Steeldogs having to skate through from that end of the ice all the way up the other end as well. So we are getting ready to go here. Semi-final number 2 of the NIHL Final 4 weekend. The winners of the South, the Peterborough Phantoms, going after the quadruple, taking on the Sheffield Steeldogs, who are looking to make it a double of their own after their success in the North Cup earlier this campaign. Mark Denham joining me on co-commentary. The crowd are slowly making their way back from their alcoholic refreshments and other bits of food as they get a chance during the breaks in the game, because that's what they've got to do. Mark Denham joining me up here. Congratulations. Sorry, just had to do a little bit of work on the lighting there in the arena, not the main stuff. Just turning off the party lights is the best way of describing it. So teams are being introduced slowly but surely up onto the blue light, their respective blue lines. I think there's an expectation in this building that it's going to end up with a Phantoms result, but there's something just about this Steeldogs team where the way they set up, they're a hard-working, gritty team. Defensively, they don't ship many goals, and if they can frustrate the Phantoms, it feels like they're going to come into their own, and guys like Nathan Salem are game breakers.
I think for a long time the Steeldogs have played under the tag of underdogs, and they don't really seem to mind that too much. Now this season they've had a standout season. They've finished runners-up in the league, they've won a trophy, but I think a lot of people around here will be expecting that the Phantoms will be the ones that will run away with this game. It could go either way. If we're honest, it could go either way.
It's intriguing to see just how this one's going to line up. Obviously, just give you the team news. So this one missing for the Peterborough Phantoms tonight is number 23, Bradley Bowering. Missing for the Sheffield Steeldogs tonight is Cameron Brownlee in number 19, and in number 27 is Alex Graham. Obviously, Alex is away on GB under-18 duty. We wish him all the best on that front. And on the netminder news, no number 34, Dimitri Zamozdra, who was an all-star for them in the NIHL this year. As Milan Kalina gives a little wave over to plenty of fanfare as he's introduced forward. In his place as a backup netminder is Curtis Warburton in number 30, but it's Brandon Stones who takes the start in the net for the Steeldogs as we get ready for the national anthem.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're now simply 7 for the national anthem.
Your referee for this matchup is Mr. Matthews, while on the lines will be Mr. Sitch Cunningham and Mr. Cook. 3 teams on the ice, as I'm always told to say. They are the 3rd team. They're going to be wanting to deliver a performance for this game tonight. It was interesting how game number 1 was refereed. It was a very open affair.
Yeah, it was indeed, and of course, like both of these referees in with a chance of getting the final. So this is Stephen Matthews' semi-final. His chance to book his place tomorrow in the evening slot. One of them's going to get it, one of them isn't. We've seen Stephen Matthews and Paul Brooks referee a lot this year, both good at their jobs.
More can be said for the Coventry team this weekend. Anyway, right, we're getting ready to go here. NIHL semi-final, number 2 in the final 4. The whole Pirates await. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out here. It's a shame we're not going to get to see Alex Graham on the ice. Appreciate there are GB call-ups. He looks an outstanding talent from the games and the conversations I've had with people around him. Really looks like he's 16 years old. He's got a real bright future. And it's great to see, again, the Sheffield Academy bringing these guys forward.
It really is a shame because, you know, it's he can't stand in his way from playing GB. He gets a chance to go out there at 16 and play for GB under 18s. It's just a shame that the windows clash. The GB trip clashes with the Coventry finals weekend, but he is an outstanding talent.
Yeah, and it's great to see, and so many times, I mean, come on, we can all remember a very young Ben Bounds going out in nets for the Steeldogs, and now you look at him, he is the GB starting netminder. It really is that hotbed. Anyway, we're getting ready to go here. There's referee Matthews. Has his arm in the air. And after a brief while, it's go time in the NIHL Final 4, semi-final number 2, as the Peterborough Phantoms take on the Sheffield Steeldogs. Ben Morgan looking to work the puck in with the first shot of the game on Jordan Marr in the net, as it's then picked up by Norton under a bit of pressure, where James Ferrara will now look to go for the big ice pass, and he finds it into Alesh Padalek, who gets the shot off, and it whistles over the bar of Stones. Early shots on Stones you feel is going to be a key to the game here for the Phantoms, as they need to try and work out where the netminder is sitting at the moment. Morgan works it around. It's going to take a funny bounce off the board. Luckily for him, it comes out well. And the break happens, and it's a big drive on the play that is forced there by Tim Smith, and it's well covered by Marr with 37 seconds gone in the period. Interesting there. Phantoms are well known for playing what one person has described to me as anti-hockey. I disagree with that. I think it's just very effective. The idea is sitting back, soaking up pressure, and hitting teams on the break, and just almost letting them burn themselves into the ground.
You could say it's worked for them well, though, this year, with the treble already won.
Indeed, well, it definitely has worked very well. Lewis Bell there with the first opportunity, another opportunity for the Steeldogs, as they're beginning to just put the pressure on, and then he's Tom Ralph involved in the players. It's worked round the boards, and the Phantoms are going to look. I mean, it is very difficult to see them. They are in camouflage, but they're coming forward in their waves now. It's an old gag. You have to go with it, as Weldon looks to create this one back into the defensive end, as Buglas plays it across. But that one will go all the way down the ice. Tom Ralph having to move his legs there just to secure the icing. We'll go back the other way with 1 and 10 played.
Now the fast start, again, we're seeing what this means to these two teams as well. They know what's ahead of them and they want to get there. They want to be contesting tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the final game. They don't want this to be the end of their season.
Indeed they don't. So it's Charlie Thompson going into the face-off draw then. Up against Weldon there on the icing as the Steeldogs got the change. Palak unable to keep that one alive, and Morgan's forced to regroup it as there's a little coming together behind the play. Morgan, one of the smoothest skaters, and always a pleasure to watch him on the defence for the Steeldogs as Douglas gets tied up with Thompson there. Thompson not able to dump the puck in where Scott Robson can collect it. There's so much defensive talent in this game as Martin's Sisters has to try and fight for control of the puck. Eventually keeps it as Corey McEwen will look to try and find the breakout pass. His pass up the middle, easily snaffled up there by Morgan as Sharnock tries to get the lay into Thompson, can't do so, and Petr Stepaniak has to come in and clear to neutral ice. Steeldogs will be happy with this so far with 1:49 played as Palak tries to work it in, but Robson breaks it up, and again the Steeldogs stepping in. That though is going to work out to Douglas, and it's going to set McEwen free. He gets the shot off, good save off Stones. Stepaniak trying to pick up the opportunity behind it as Salem lays the body on the line. Maybe too many men on the ice, not called there as Norton looks for the man rushing out the slot. He dumps it across where Billings will go in under pressure on Morgan. Gets the clear out, but James Ferrara's going to spot a bit of open ice. Shot's broken up and the Steeldogs just clear it away and out the zone. And it just stips off as Duncan Spears was looking to fly forward there. Nearly an opportunity for the Steeldogs in, but instead Salem twice hitting the boards hard, but not his man, as Padalek, and it comes to McEwen. McEwen gets shot off, broken up, not by the netminder, but by the Steeldogs man in front. They're going to come back the other way. Andrew Hurst dances in over the blue line, gets the shot in on Mars, and has to go collect his own rebound up, but it's under pressure from Hunt. And that puck will just bobble around there. Padalek being the cool and composed and calm guy. And once again, another hit thrown as Spears gets the drive in. That whistles over the bar as Kalina picks up the rebound. Kalina going to try and work it around, find a little bit of something. Has to go back and around and inside where he does finally find the support as it's laid off. But it comes back all the way out, and down on the mat play goes Billing there. As once again the Steeldogs looking to have it there, but Spears getting held up on the play, and the Phantoms will come out the other way as Calvert tries to make himself a nuisance in there, and instead Pollard will go in on the chase hard up against Kalina. Kalina drives him into the boards. Well played there by Kalina, standing his man up perfectly clean and legal. Tim Smith trying to get the clear out, does so and finds Spur. Spur can't clear the zone though, and the Steeldogs will have to go in and collect it in their own end.
We've seen a lot more neutral zone play so far in this period than we have in the whole of the last game.
Indeed, that's a very great shout already early in the game as Kalina dumps it in around the boards where Robert Ferrara will pick up the puck and lay it off for Robson, and he finds support from Weldon. Weldon will spot a little bit of open ice and skate into it with speed, dumps it in. Stones throws the glove at it and actually takes a little tip off it as Ralph stands up well against Stepaniak and tries to work out something, but the Phantoms are going to try and step in there with, he's such a presence, Stepaniak, you can't keep your eyes off him. He's a real big body as Spur loses it in his skates, and McEwen just able to get it onto Stepaniak, but it's well broken up by the Steeldogs, whose big cross-ice pass doesn't come off as Robert Ferrara now jumping over the blue line, trying to create a bit of space for himself. Does do so. He's going to come under pressure though, and will need to try and find support out on the blue line, which eventually he doesn't, because he turns back inside and turns the puck over as Lewis Bell tries to find the way out, and he does do so. But Charlie Thompson's skate on the puck just falls down, and Douglas will try and clear this one out and around where it's collected by Sisters. 4:30 played in the period. It's pretty free-flowing at the moment. There's no penalties like there was in the early one, but also no whistles on icings or offsides as well. Really showing an open-ended game at the moment.
We're seeing a fast-moving game here. Both teams are keeping it clean, but they're keeping it fast and entertaining.
Steeldogs coming in now as Sharnock looking to try and create something. Gets held up on his man, and a penalty call potentially there. Not called though as Hunt goes into battle with his man. And the Steeldogs put him on the back foot as they get the change of the body, as Douglas will now try and get the puck clear, but he's under a lot of pressure in there, and he's nearly turning that one over as Sharnock goes in hard alongside him, and the Steeldogs do indeed enforce the board battle, but again Morgan steps in and Hunt will pick up the pieces. Hunt now got to spot a bit of open ice and dances around his man with a bit of ease. A great bit of stick on the play there by Spears to break it up initially, just enough to cause the damage, because the Steeldogs are able to get back there and get the clear as well, and that's going to get tapped down on the play by Spears, and it was a chance, did Long go or stay? He stayed, and it nearly caused him a problem because the Steeldogs have got in the zone, but that next play causes a bit of a problem as Hurst goes in hard into the corner, as he always will do. Gritty, and that's a nice pass out on the play by Padalek. Great outlet as the man plays the body, but it's Billing on rushing against Morgan there. Those two will go in there. Great play by Morgan to get the body around. Support eventually coming from the rest of the side as they look for that little opportunity. James Ferrara, Padlett getting the shot on. Stones did not see that one, and Long just loses it on the blue line, forcing James Ferrara into the skate back with 5:57 played in the first.
Slightly scrappier start to this game than the last game. You thought the Pirates came out very organised. The Steeldogs here a little scrappier. The Phantoms not quite hit their strides yet.
Still plenty to come, plenty of the feeling out process. They don't play each other every week as well. That's what you've got to remember with the conferences. They've only seen each other in the Autumn Cup as now they try and come forward to the Steeldogs, but the pressure is high up the ice and the Phantoms will dump this one round, force the puck back in, but we're going to have an icing on the play. It was 6:23 gone in the period.
So as you say, there is a lot of feeling out to go here. These teams, like in the last game that the Pirates and the Bees hadn't met before this season, these teams have met early season in the Cup, but they haven't seen each other for a long time since. They've gone their own way. Both teams have been successful in their own rights, the Steeldogs with the Cup, the Phantoms with the treble, but it's just reacquainting themselves in these early doors of the game.
Cleaner in the face-off circle, but it's a good win there by Weldon. The pressure did come and Marr went down on the puck, but luckily for him it didn't cause too much of a problem as Weldon got the clear out there. And Pollard is able to tip that on from Robson's tip, and he'll go in on the chase against Relf. Relf needing to get his head up on the play, does do so. Gets the play in. Kalina does win it in neutralised, but we're not going to have icing on the play, so that one's going to have to be chased back by the Phantoms. And it's at the other end of the ice. A great hit on the play there, doing enough to disturb the damage there by the Steeldogs was Spur. Spur dumping it around the back for Kalina. Kalina trying to create a bit of space for himself, fires it into the slot where the bodies were. Just couldn't get what he exactly wanted. Spur with the shot again, looking for the tip past the post. Maybe an opportunity because the Phantoms have got a man high. Susters, though, isn't going to be able to collect that one where he wants it. He's going to have to go in by himself in there. And that's a great bit of hit on the play there by Lewis Bell. Make a hit to make a play, and he does do so because it looks like the Steeldogs would have been able to come out the other way. Instead, they've got to go back and regroup through Relf.
Good work by Ferrara there, Robert Ferrara it is, who's just held that in.
Great tip on the play though, setting the Steeldogs free. They put the shot on. Marr having to work very hard at the near post there, as that was a good opportunity there for Sharnock if he had got clear fully. The pressure fully coming, and already you're beginning to see the Phantoms trying to, okay, we've soaked up this early pressure, let's try and spread the play a little bit, let's try and leave a man high, let's try and create opportunities, because you fancy the Steeldogs like, hang on here, we're in this game here, as Stepaniak now comes forward, he's looking for some opportunity, gets the dance on, tries to go forehand, backhand, stays on the backhand as Barry and Co work hard in there, and the Steeldogs, well, that one's going to go all the way down the ice. That will definitely be an icing call, even I can call that one.
That was a fairly easy icing call to make. But yeah, as you say, the Phantoms are going to look to step up a little bit here. The Phantoms are very, very good with systems and plans. They know the South teams. They know how to win against those South teams. And it saw them finish runners-up in the league. Here, it's just re-establishing what the Steeldogs have done since they've seen each other and trying to get the right system and the right plan in place.
Face-off draw win though for the Steeldogs. Sees Morgan play it around, and he's going to look for a little bit of support elsewhere as the Mexican Wave start in the building. Charlie Thompson was nearly on that puck, but it didn't quite come off for him. Instead, the Steeldogs have to go back and regroup. They just need to be patient. If the breakout doesn't happen, they can't force the matter like they tried to do there, because the Phantoms will step in and try and take control of the situation. And this is where the Phantoms' fourth line is on as Barry dances forward. Now he's going to get an opportunity to get a shot off. Marr rebound straight into the slot where Sharnock was following in, but the Phantoms' body was big, strong and firm in there as well. And now just going to get that opportunity, get the fresh legs out, get the bodies out they want to see on the ice, as forward will come James Ferrara now. Ferrara trying to work an opportunity in there for his line mate Billing to chase on, and we're going to have an icing on the play, or an offside. It's an offside, apologies ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go all the way.
Worth saying that whilst the Steeldogs have Stones in net tonight, Marr has been consistent for the Phantoms all season long. He's been a fantastic performer for the Peterborough Phantoms this year.
Indeed, do so. And how much difference does it make? You have the confidence in your netminder. You know what they're going to turn out as Billing comes forward. Great little step onto the play for Padlett. Padlett shot broken up, gets the rebound though, and that's a very handy little glove save there. Any doubts? Potentially early doors. It's the first big attempt that they've had, and Brandon Stones answered the question with 2 ticks on it.
Well, I was just picking up Marr in the Phantoms net. Stones has just come up really, really huge there. There's a great chance for the Phantoms to take the lead early on, and that is a huge save, and that will give his team confidence to feed from.
Certainly, you only had to hear my voice for the nice listen. Not saying he's a bad netminder or anything like that, but those are the moments where a slightly more inexperienced netminder, someone who isn't confident in their ability, might have an opportunity to slip by. Spears puts the shot on and forces Marr to work that one around, and he's straight on the play there as well. Very clean game so far, nothing stupid in the penalty front as well, nothing silly, no silly trips, no lefting hits and no lateness and no physicality. It's been a very clean game. Great to see, open-ended at the moment as the Phantoms look for that big expansive pass. You're beginning to see it come in, and as they make the man change, Tom Relf's going to get a chance to step into the play. He's under a bit of pressure though and goes in for a very hard hit into the board. Steeldogs try and work that one away, and the Phantoms, as Calvert just loses it over his head but keeps it in the zone under pressure. And now Norton's going to get a chance to try and work this one out. Again, the big cross-eyes pass, trying to find the opportunity. Sisters lays it off. McEwen comes through at speed. He's going to dance once, dance twice. He's going to have to look for a little bit of a layoff, trying to find someone. Long's on the point if he wants him. Instead goes inside because Stepaniak's there, but his turn and shot is fanned on. And the Steeldogs will now come out with the other way as Kalina comes forward. Kalina's going to have Spur in support. If he can find him, does so, but Spur himself fans on the shot. And that's a big hit on the head, and Spur straight away feeling that one as we go back out the other way. Stepaniak will come forward, shot on, whistles around the post and around, and it falls into neutral ice. Spur will now rejoin the play as Calvert dances round Buglas, and Calvert goes forehand, backhand, but backhand wide. Good hit by Kalina to win the putt there, lays it off for Calvert, broken up though, and the Phantoms under a little pressure in their own end with 10 and 31 gone in the period.
This has been a great little spell of play here from the Steeldogs, spurred on by that save, you may argue.
Buglas with the dump in there forces Stones into playing it, but he's able to find a way out as Palak tries to get the layoff. That's a poor pass though, and Buglas is able to step in and set Taylor Romeo going in the other way. He'll put Barry into the boards for his help. Morgan can't get there, and Palak he's now under a lot of pressure there as the bodies come flying in. Steeldogs again just need to be patient on the breakout as that one just about stays in the ice. That's a great stick on the play there by Thompson to take control of that one, works it in there, shot comes in, and Marr just takes an opportunity to give his side a breather, get the players that they need out on the ice with 11 and 7 played in the period.
Been a really good start to this game. I think we have seen we've seen the Phantoms, as you say, sit back. They've soaked up some pressure. They're starting to look just a little more expansive now. We're beginning to see those big outlet passes across the ice. The confidence is starting to come for the Phantoms now.
And the conga starts as a big shot comes in there, big vicious shot comes in there that Marr has to be more than alert to stopping that one, try and sneak in there from Spears. Dump back in, it's going to be worked around as Marr will take control of this one. And that one's worked forward, and Billing with a really nice tip, breaking his man well there. Gets the chance as Smith lays it back. Padalek trying to find the little dump in there as Spears comes out, sticks in the lane though, going to cause issues because Padalek's going to dance once, twice. Not 3 times a lady, didn't finish that one off.
That was probably the game's best chance so far.
And it was created out of nothing at all really, and that's sometimes what it needs to be, is those magical moments that come out of nowhere. He danced so well once, twice, that's a hit on Salem, and he goes down, and he's straight away holding his knee, and it's a big cross-ice pass, and the whistle will go on this one. Salem instantly went down, clutching his knee on this one like it was a big hit.
Now, crucially, there doesn't appear to be a call on the play. The referee has not raised his arm here. Nathan Salem is still down. There's now treatment coming out to him as well. But we are seeing a good game here, and let's hope that we're not going to see Nathan Salem end his season now.
It was a high impact hit. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's never a fun one when it appears to be a knee-on-knee hit. He's gonna limp off and make sure he's okay. I don't think there was anything there really. It's just a miss. It's just not missed time. It's just an unfortunate timing on the hit, where it hits on the body and what it does. I mean, Lewis Bell's going to explain that it needs to be sorted, but I don't think there's a lot there.
I don't think you can say Stephen Matthews has done wrong. As you say, it's just a slightly mistimed hit. I don't think there's any problem with no call on that. Lewis Bell is unhappy, but I don't think anyone else in the building is really going to say, no, that's a bad decision. We stay at 0-0, we stay at 5-on-5, and that's how hockey should be decided.
Preach. 11:55 gone in the first. Phantoms coming up with the draw win. Big shot from the point. Rebound going to fall in front. Maybe. Does it though? Cleaner trying to get on that one, but he can't. As Norton will now collect it, and it's a good pass. Now those cross-eyes passes where it puts them on the back foot are coming in, because White gets the drop off. White in there behind the back of the net. He's got Pollard in support. Finds him. Shot is mistimed. Norton's going to step in though, and we'll have our first penalty of the evening, and it looks like it's going to be Nathan Pollard, and it's 2 minutes for tripping after Spur takes a trip to the ice. So we're 12 and 16 in the first period gone. It's the Sheffield Steeldogs to the power play.
Now, we've seen some good penalty killing from the Peterborough Phantoms this year. The Sheffield Steeldogs, while I've said the Peterborough Phantoms are starting to break out into confidence, the Sheffield Steeldogs are beginning to hit their straps as well. They've got some good plays on. They're chasing hard for the pucks. Passes are good. So here we go with the man advantage. Let's see whether they can make this count.
To do it, you need a draw win, and they do get that. So they're going to set up with Morgan on the point. Morgan going to work it into Cleaner. Cleaner trying to find something. As there's a chance, and Calvert, he loses the end of his stick. And this is actually going to be an opportunity for Jason Archer to break. He's got Billing in support. He has to go for the no-look pass. It doesn't come off. That was quite fortunate there, because Calvert was in a very good position, just been set up perfectly, and all he needed to one-timer that one home. Cleaner now coming forward, dancing, wheeling, dealing. Morgan keeps it in at the zone, which is good, because again, the Phantoms are just leaving that man high. Even on the penalty kill, they're trying to put the pressure on. Steeldogs with it now in deep as Cleaner works it around the net, finds the support. Morgan at the point now has it. Morgan's got Salem on the inside, back on the ice. Cleaner now with it. Cleaner looking for an opportunity. He's getting the heads up on the play. Can he find man? There is a man at the net. He gets the shot off looking for the tip, and it's well tipped wide as Rob Ferrara is now going to come under a bit of pressure as he tries to clear out the zone, because Kalina's now going to collect it. Broken up extremely well there by Alash Padalek. He wants the call on the play, and he isn't going to get it there. He dumps it forward. So a minute of the power play gone as Morgan looks to dump this one out onto the, I say offensive side, but instead they're just going to take this one in, get an opportunity, get those fresh legs in. A good power play start there, a good opportunity for Calvert that could have been converted if there wasn't the stick malfunction. Dumped in on Marr. Marr now going to have to be alert, and he is alert to clear out the zone where Smith is able to collect on the red line. 38 seconds of the power play opportunity. Phantoms will be happy enough right now. Nothing really of creation in there, bar that chance for Calvert.
And will the Steeldogs rue that chance perhaps? It was a great opportunity.
Indeed. Anyway, forward comes Spur now. He's going to go in for a bit of a battle alongside Robson there. Those two not backing out of that one there, and it's the Phantoms who will come away with it again. And if Weldon had got his head up there, he might have seen McEwen just beginning to skate a little bit. Sorry, Suster's beginning to skate a little bit clear with 10 seconds of this power play remaining. Steeldogs going to have one more chance to try and gain possession in the zone, and they do so. And it's a big shot, big pad save. Rebound, Spur trying to get something on it, can't do so. And the Phantoms return to 5 skaters. Interesting signs there for the Steeldogs. They'll take a little bit of confidence from what they did. The Phantoms will be happy to hold them out. McEwen now getting the heads up on the play, trying to create something, gets the shot off. Stones with the save, comes back around. That's a great play there. Just full body strength there, just stopping that there by Hurst. It meant that the man couldn't get what he wanted. Barry dumps it in, and Hurst will go in for the chase up against Ferrara. Ferrara held up against the boards, and that's well played there by Hurst, but the Phantoms will try and come away again. A lot of pressure coming in there from Spears. Big hit there by Salem on Pollard. No missing on his problems. As the puck comes back again, it's going to fall in there, and Long now collects it. We do have a penalty coming up on the play, though. Referee Matthews with his arm in the air with 15:06 gone in the period. So the Phantoms will be heading to the power play any minute now. I suspect it will be Nathan Salem picking up the penalty for the hit there that was a little bit big.
Phantoms do already have the empty net as well, so they're already 6 on 5 now.
So Susters is dancing, and he's going to get an opportunity, and that's off the pipes. Oh, that was mighty close. Great play there by Martin Susters, really in top form at the moment, and he showed that one there by pinging another off the pipes.
He had a great weekend last weekend in the Southern Finals weekend as well, Martin Susters, so hitting form at the fantastic time.
Don't forget, we're still on a delayed penalty here, as there's going to be a chance in there as that's tipped round. Stepaniak's going to pick up the opportunity around the back, under pressure from Sharnock, and that's when referee Matthews decides now's a good time as any to make the call and get the stoppage on the play, and it is indeed Nathan Salem. He's going off 2 minutes for tripping, with 15:46 gone in the first.
Well, it was a big hit, wasn't it, which has been assessed as a tripping call. We see Moore now returns to the net, but it's going to be 5-on-4. First chance on the power play tonight for the Phantoms. 15:46 played. We've seen one Steeldogs power play. They generated that one chance that was foiled by the broken stick, but now we get to see the Phantoms on the man advantage, see what they can do.
They were quite deadly last weekend. As we said, they'll be very happy with their power play percentages over the season, the Phantoms. Anyway, chance now going to be on here. The Steeldogs coming up with the initial draw win, but there's going to be a lot of pressure in the corner. And indeed, Weldon and co do get the turnaround. Comes back out to the point where Norton lays it off into James Ferrara. Ferrara back to Norton. Norton will step in and fire. Rebound falls in front. Going to fall down to Ferrara. Another shot. Bodies in the lane. And the Steeldogs just about get it out under lots of pressure as Kalina will go in hard there on Norton. That was the first big poppy rebound of the night. It was a rebound that just bounced around and could have been an opportunity for the Phantoms. They'll come back forward now as it's broken up, actually by Padalek, who took control of it unknowingly. Phantoms now got too many men in the wrong area, but Weldon is able to work this one around. 1:20 to go on the power play as it comes back out to the point into Padalek. Padalek looking for an opportunity to feed Norton. Norton looking to let go with the shot, can't do so, so has to feed into Billing, and it's a good stick on the play there that just forces it out and means the Phantoms have to regroup at their own blue line with 1:04 to play on this power play opportunity as they forward come, and that time it did look like it just looked like Glenn Billing had slipped in front on the offside there with 16:47 gone in the period and exactly 1 minute to play on the power play.
That was a good chance for the Phantoms on the power play. They had Will Weldon in front of the net as well. The rebound bobbled and bobbled, but just not quite anywhere where he could get hold of it. So yeah, one power play chance for the Steeldogs tonight, one for the Phantoms, but still scoreless though here, which is not quite what I predicted.
No, indeed. It was going to be tight, and here it goes because McEwen's looking to set that one up. That's a very smart play to set up Susters. He's got Stepaniak on the point as it goes back to Susters. Robson's gone to the net. Stepaniak can unleash from there if he wants to, but it's broken up. And Sharnock going to come under a little bit of pressure to get the clear on this, as will now Tim Smith, because Susters is going to come in at speed. That one disappears up in there, and it's actually well done there by the Steeldogs. They're battling for this puck. They're not letting the Phantoms have a clean puck with 30 seconds to go on this penalty. Now they do, though, because Susters has got it in deep. Susters has got Robson in support. He gets it into Robson. Robson now behind the back of the net, and McEwen skating in, out to the point where Stepaniak is. Stepaniak is looking for the support, finds it. Stepaniak, maybe he'll let go with the drive. Still looking for the perfect opportunity. There's plenty of men at the net, though. They just need to pick which one they want to go to. It's confident, it's patient from the Phantoms with 9 seconds of this penalty kill to go, as Susters has got it in behind the back of the net, lays it across the slot, and the man couldn't finish it. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 17:47 gone in the first.
We saw a great Phantoms power play all weekend, last weekend, but that's a fantastic penalty kill from the Steeldogs, keeping them out on that occasion. Some good play set up, but they just didn't quite get allowed to finish it.
Phantoms looking to bring that patient play back into it, and they do so, and they get the opportunity to put out that additional line that they have and just put some fresh legs as Spur tries to lay it in at speed into the on-rushing cleaner. He can't. Spur is able to pick up the pieces again along with Calvert, and they'll work this one into the offensive end where Spur will go in on the chase up against Rob Ferrara, lays the body on. Ralph steps in on the play, and that's a good little bit of play by Ralph there. So he keeps that puck alive and tries to work it around back into Spur. Spur getting the heads up on the play, can't find anybody in the slot. Instead it's going to come out the other way, and the Phantoms trying to create something but can't do so. 1:20 then to go in the period as Kalina looks to come forward again, but that's well broken up there by James Ferrara. And if he gets his head up and finds Padalek, it could have gone free. Unfortunately for him, it didn't quite pay off. And Weldon rushing in as he came in for the end of a shift also can't do the goods on it, so it's going to just come back into Billing here. Billing gets the layoff into the on-rushing man. That's a big hit on the play. Probably earlier in the season you would have been calling that as a late hit, but these days just let that one slide a little bit, boys and girls.
Playoff hockey.
Norton lays that one nicely across. We enter into the final minute. The body hits are beginning to come in. Morgan looking around under pressure for Billing, but it's Padalek who collects it. Padalek dances round his man, tries to get it on the forehand, can't do so, so has to go back out the other way, and it's dumped across ice. This will be a good chase in. Padalek's actually going to get in behind and gets the backhander off and takes a hard hit into the board for his troubles. Doesn't come off with it. Padalek's going to be left in alone behind the back of the net, looking for the feed in the slot, and it's gone in! Sometimes you just need that dirty goal, and that's exactly what happened there. You put the body on, you put the man in, you don't take the opportunity to clear the puck. And with 29 seconds, we're going to go to the replay for this one. But with 21 seconds to go, it's the Steeldogs into a 1-0 lead.
It was great work behind the net there to recover. He chased in on the first one, gone down, he's got up quickly and recovered, and you can see here he's then made that goal by getting into position and forcing it out in front.
That's a great little finish for them. There's plenty of discussions going on in the middle of the ice at the moment. I suspect it to be Duncan Spears who's credited with the goal there. But it is indeed the Sheffield Steeldogs, and turn up for the books, ladies and gentlemen. We said there'd be plenty of chapters written here. Sometimes those are the sort of bounces and the sort of goals you need to make the difference. Anyway, the Phantoms come forward with McEwen now trying to get in the slot. No penalty on the play. It's Adrian Palak who's actually being accredited with the goal as the bodies go in with 10 seconds to go here in this period, and the Phantoms aren't happy about slipping behind here, just the body being laid in a little bit harder than it was earlier as Morgan gets the clear out, and that's actually going to go up into the bench, but we're not going to worry about it too much because we get to the end of the period. Plenty of action out there. If you're the Steeldogs, you're very happy with how this one is panning out at the moment. You're 1-0 up on the scoreboard. Adrian Palak getting the goal after some good work in deep. The Phantoms are trying to spread the play. They're trying to create those opportunities, but the Steeldogs are holding firm for now.
I think we both agreed that we were going to see a more defensively orientated game than the first one here, and we have. There's not been as many chances in this period as there was in the first period of the last game, but I think that work behind the net there, though, just to keep the puck alive. You know, he's chased in to get the puck, gone down under his own steam, and then recovered well, forced it out in front. Steeldogs capitalise.
And they capitalise indeed, because at the end of the first period of the NIHL Final Four semi-final number 2, at the end of the first period, it is the Peterborough Phantoms 0, the Sheffield Steeldogs 1.
Dogs had the answer to that. Great power play goal there for them towards the end of that period, puts them ahead.
Wasn't the power play goal. It was an even-handed goal, that was. Pretty sure that was an even-handed goal. It was good work by Palak indeed. He did the hard work, and that's sometimes you just need that. I mean, Palak has been a player that, from my memory of, obviously I'm not watching game tape every week from Sheffield, but when he used to watch Sheffield, game tape of him, he could coast in and coast out, turning it on there, working hard, job done. Brilliant stuff for them. Very happy. And yeah, I do suspect you might see very similar to what we saw in game number 1. There might be a quick response here from the Phantoms. There might be, let's just get that goal back on the board. Let's just restore a little bit of equilibrium.
We did see, didn't we, in game number 1, 134 was the difference between winning and losing.
Indeed so. Referee Matthews has his arm in the air, and we are underway in second period action here in the NIHL Final Four semi-final number 2, where the Peterborough Phantoms have a bit of work to do. They are 1-0 down at the hands of the Sheffield Steeldogs, who will be happy to have more of the same, but it's the Phantoms' early doors here as Hurst nips in on his man and gets the step and the layoff to Spears. Spears is going to look to create something, gets the shot on that whistles around, and Smith has to work hard to keep that one in the zone. But the Phantoms are now going to be able to regroup, and they're looking for that cross-ice pass, can't find it. Spears is going to step in, he's going to go forehand, backhand. Great play defensively from Rob Ferrara. He gets the opportunity there as he lays it around now as Salem looks to try and create something. Recovered from that slight blow he took earlier on. Salem spots an opportunity to get his head up, goes forehand, backhand, gets the shot off, whistles around the boards and out the zone again, where it's now collected by Ben Morgan. Morgan looks to find a bit of support from Bell, and Bell will have to work this one out with Morgan. Morgan looks into that middle of the ice where Calvert's able to get the tip on, and Kalina will go in on the chase now. He's going to be driven hard into the board by Weldon, and Weldon just does enough as Rob Ferrara looks to get the clear out under pressure. Does do so though as they go across ice into Norton. Norton dumps it forward into neutral ice where it's collected. That's a good hard hit there on Ralph. He would have felt that one into the boards that have got no plexi with them there as they're by the benches. Right, Ferrara trying to dance around Cleaner, tries to do so, and it eventually falls. White takes it out of the zone, though, rather than take it forward, and the Phantoms will get some fresh legs on as Relf has to go in deep to collect defensively. Relf gets the head up and looks for the pass out into the middle of the ice, but Cleaner isn't able to take the tap on from Spurs, and the Phantoms will get the opportunity now to try and work this one forward themselves. Here's the opportunity as he's going to get on the forehand and the backhand, laid across ice into McEwen. McEwen looking for his man, can't find it because it's broken up by Calvert, and that's a good little play there by Spur, and he's going to get an opportunity to see some open ice. Spur gets the shot in on the forehand, and it's just sat down on by Marr with 1:55 played in the second.
In the South semi-final last weekend, we saw a very good comprehensive performance on 2 nights by the Peterborough Phantoms. Whether they haven't quite hit their straps tonight, or whether it's Sheffield that are just nullifying that, Phantoms haven't been quite the force that they were last weekend yet in tonight's game.
No, and you can see at the moment they're still kind of feeling their way through the Steeldogs lineup. Who've just done the business so far, as the Phantoms will try and put the pressure out of their way, but Billing is going to go into the corner. He hasn't got flying yet tonight, Billing. I fancy there's a bit more to come from him. As Billing looking for an opportunity for an outlet pass, and that's maybe the opportunity needed, because they're going to work this one forward here as Robson. Padalek coming across, collects up the puck. Padalek gets the lay on into Ferrara, lays it across to Billing, and just like that, the Phantoms finally get moving. What a lovely end-to-end goal there by the team. I said there may be a little bit more to come from Glenn Billing. He puts on the finishing touches, but it's the rest of the players. They carved it open, and with 2:18 gone in the second period, it's 1 apiece on the scoreboard.
Well, I apologise for any Steeldogs fans watching. The curse of the commentator there. Phantoms have finally hit their straps. Great goal here. Look at this from Billing. He sees that all he has to do is get to the net, because Stones is committed on the other side. He does get to the net, and we're 1-1.
And just like that, the game is all changed round. And it's quite funny how you say that. It was just, you fancy there was a little bit more to come, and it was the minute Padalek made that movement along the blue line, you could just see how they were breaking out. Okay, the Steeldogs all got wrapped in. That allowed Billing to take the next blue line. Then they moved up. It's passed into Padalek. He's taking the next one. And all of a sudden, they just had the bodies and the men there. I'm not going to criticise the Steeldogs there. That's just what the Phantoms and this talented team can do.
Well, the Phantoms drew the Steeldogs where they wanted them, leaving Billing free. That was the thing. Billing had nobody on him at all, and an open net to shoot in.
Forward now comes Salem, though, for the Steeldogs. He's going to try and work his way past Norton, but he stood up well. Salem trying to get the whip around. He's going to want a penalty on the play, but he's definitely not going to get one there. And McEwen's little tip-off pass is perfect as the big shot comes from Pollard. Rebound in the slot, and Spears rushing back on the back check does the business there. Still McEwen going to try and work out an opportunity here as he goes forehand, backhand. Trying to find the man. Rushing in is Stepaniak, who loses it off the end, and Smith holds firm, but still in there for Hunt. He lays it off. Stepaniak shot. Rebound in front. Still there, Stepaniak. And it's going to be the work there of the Steeldogs to try and get this one clear. Phantoms are sniffing an opportunity here, you feel. Laid into Stepaniak, back around, shot comes in, rebound, Stepaniak trying to get there, McEwen with the drive!
And that's the second time tonight we've seen 1 brings 2. Phantoms have now got ahead in virtually no time.
And it was just relentless pressure. It was pressure upon pressure upon pressure. No one picking up McEwen. He's going to set up for the drive. Those Phantoms fans at the front absolutely delighted. There was so much pressure coming, and then when McEwen just drove in from there, hey, it was all she wrote. 3:24 then, and just look at the benches. Steeldogs are sat down, looking a little bit lost. You look at the Phantoms, they're all up on their feet. They're all flying for this one now, because in a short space of time, they've turned this one around. And we said they might need the early goal. They've certainly done it.
And they've capitalised on that by putting pressure on that's brought the second.
And is there more to come here, because they're moving forward? They really sense that this is the time to seal this game. Robson trying to lay it into Padalek, but Relf is able to get in the way there. Bell will now pick up the pieces instead, looking for the play out. Tip on. Cleaner here. He's got a man in support if he can find him. Cleaner. Good play there by Rob Ferrara, just stopping that one from getting round. And this is actually going to break out really nicely for James Ferrara. Padalek having to be patient. They throw it on net, bounces around. Instead, Padalek will collect it now. Padalek going to go forehand, backhand, back to Long with the drive. Easy save in the end there for Brandon Stones in the net with 4:11 gone in the second.
Now, I did say that the Peterborough Phantoms hadn't hit their stride as yet. They certainly have now. They have come out flying in this period, and it's been pretty much relentless pressure. The Steeldogs were really, really good in period 1, but the Phantoms are hitting them hard now with pressure, and they are 2-1 up thanks to that.
There's a lot of pace out there at the moment that the Steeldogs just need to start contending with. You don't think they're going to give up on this one, but if they can weather this storm and come out of this with it maybe being just 2-1 on the scoreboard, but you could see in the next couple of minutes the Phantoms getting a little bit more. Anyway, they're going to try and work this one out now themselves, the Steeldogs, as it's laid around into Barry, who puts it on, and Marr gloves it and will keep the puck alive under a lot of pressure. He thought Buglas was going to make an opportunity for him. He didn't, and instead it's going to be collected in behind the back of the net. Buglas will now take it forward, trying to find an opportunity, and he's got the support along, who lays it in very neatly, where it's just tipped along by Pollard in for Weldon to chase, and Weldon will collect it. He's got support all around there, and he gets a little bit to go for the wraparound, broken up there as Pollard was trying to find his way to the net. Morgan going to have to put the pressure on here, drives the man into the board himself, and gets the kick out. And the Steeldogs, they're trying to play this, get it out, and Sharnock now going to come forward with it, looking for a bit of support, and he has to go out the zone to do it. There's a penalty coming up on the play against the Peterborough Phantoms here. We have an empty net situation, but Norton is going to go up the other end with 5 and 14, 15 on the clock. So penalty coming up here on the Peterborough Phantoms.
Now this is bigger than just a 2-minute advantage, because the Peterborough Phantoms scored their 2 goals and they have pressured since. This is a chance now for the Steeldogs to try and get back into this game. They're only down by a goal, they only need one to equalise it, then it becomes a totally different game. But it's about taking away the momentum that the Phantoms have just generated.
I guess what the signal is there, so I'm going to have to come back to you guys about what actually the call is on that one. Wait for the announcer. It might be a hooking call on the play. Let's take a guess. Let's go hooking. You know, that's what it is. Steeldogs power play opportunity though, as Morgan's got it on the blue line. Morgan working it in and trying to create the opportunity. In deep is Kalina. Kalina gets it back out to Morgan on the point. Morgan into Kalina coming off the face-off circle as Kalina looking to wheel this one around. Got Morgan on the point, bodies at the net. Kalina trying to get it into Morgan, driven, shot up into the netting. So it's a holding the stick penalty actually, with 1 and 39 on that opportunity, as the shot went up into the netting and didn't trouble anyone. So 5 and 36 gone in the second, 1 and 39 to go on this power play as we come out the zone, as the shot did take no deflection, just went up into the netting by itself. Spears now lays it across to Morgan. He's got Kalina coming around at pace, and Kalina will work his way backwards and now spin and go forward again. Kalina taking 2 men out of the play on that one there, as Calvert will dump the puck on for Kalina to chase again, as now it's Salem gets the layoff, does so, gets the spin around for Calvert, and what a power play opportunity it does prove to be. It stops the Ross at one end for the Sheffield Steeldogs, and at the other end it's Ashley Calvert who does the business. 1 and 20 left on that penalty, 5 and 56 in the second played. We've had 3 goals so far. It's 2-2 on the scoreboard.
Not a bad goal at all there, because he's in position but he's blindsided. He quickly turns here and you'll see him just turn and shoot. That's a great goal really, because he knows where he is. Positionally he's aware, he knows where the net is, and that has not only levelled the game, but it's also just dulled that Phantoms momentum that they built.
It was actually give credit there to Nathan Salem in deep there, actually went in there, battled for the puck. It's twice now where you do seem to see, if the Steeldogs get in deep and battle for that puck against the Phantoms, they're coming out on that battle. We saw it with the Palak goal, and we saw it there as Stepaniak will now try and come forward, and this could be an opportunity actually, because it's going to go in. Oh, it's a good save. He doesn't know much about it in the end. He just got his skate on that one, and there was a little bit of a lost look as it just sat there begging to be buried. With 6 and 16 gone in the second. Stones coming up big there for the Steeldogs.
That's good positioning by Stones. I doubt he knew how he saved it, but it's literally just clipped the end of his blade and stopped, and there was nobody there for the Phantoms agonisingly from their point of view to put it home.
They're just beginning to create again, and you do fancy he's thrown the big boys out there already. He's thrown Stepaniak, he's thrown Sisters, he's thrown his men out there to try and create this opportunity here. Slava Kulikov has, because he wants it, as Palak will now take control of this puck, and he's got to try and wheel out of his own end, and he goes for the big cross-ice pass, gets it into Sharnock. Sharnock's able to dump it forward, where Thompson will now go in for the chase up against Ferrara. Ferrara under a bit of pressure there, but the Phantoms, well, they can't find a way out. Palak's going to get the opportunity. They've got him deep. He tries to lay it in the slot rather than going for himself, and that might have proved costly, because Stepaniak is coming back out the other way now. But it's into a ball battle in there where there's plenty of bodies on the ground. Bugler steps in to try and create something for himself, but it goes in deep where it's collected by Relf, and Relf will get his eyes open and try and work out which way he's going to go here. He's got no support at the moment, so he's going to be doing it all himself. Steeldogs a little late on the change here. Relf does indeed in the end tip it on to Salem with 7 and 7 in it. It lands in there and Hurst gets the shot, rebound in front, trying to get anything on it. Puck still free, out of nothing at all. There was nearly another goal there for the Steeldogs.
That was just an opportunity that came from absolutely nowhere, but great save by Marr to keep the Steeldogs out on that occasion.
Steeldogs looking to come forward again, as this time it's Salem dumping in the puck, and he'll put the pressure on Norton here, and Norton takes a hard hit, and he felt that one as Smith comes in as well, but he's back up to his feet there, Norton, and he plays it out, and actually he sprung James Ferrara free, and James Ferrara just gets the layoff into Hunt. Man in the slot, if he can find him, goes big, still there for it, and it's an opportunity. Weldon just sat and waited for it at the back door, but the Steeldogs had all collapsed in on the play, so when it eventually fell to him, Weldon was able to fire home, and with 7 and 42 gone in the second, the Peterborough Phantoms have restored their lead.
That's a neat goal from Will Weldon, because he's a very, very tight angle there, and he still made that. But the Steeldogs defence had collapsed. It allowed them the space, the Phantoms, the space they needed there. And then Will Weldon all alone at the back door, tight angle, neatly buried. Phantoms now back ahead.
Well, what an interesting start to the period after a very tense and nervy, with just the goal coming in the last 30 seconds in the first. All of a sudden we've had a fest of them so far here. 4 goals for us to all feast on a Saturday evening. It's just what you want, and there might be more to come, you fancy, because you've seen at the other end, if the Steeldogs get their chance, they're going to take them. And that was just after they'd actually missed a very opportune moment themselves at the other end. Morgan looking for the play out now to Kalina. Kalina comes in over the blue line looking to create something. He stood up very well though by Douglas initially, and eventually the support does come, but he gets it back out to the point where Morgan drives, and Marr has to be down on that one with a couple of players sniffing around with 8 and 10 played in the second.
I think what we're seeing here is the speed at which goals are being scored as well. This game has gone from a 1-0 game to a 3-2 game, and those 4 goals in this period have all been quite tight. They've all been worked hard for, but they've all been very, very tight goals. Here we are though, 8-10 played in the second period. The Phantoms ahead in this, what we thought would be a defensive battle.
Phantoms looking to come away with the puck with the goal scorer. At the moment, the game winner, Will Weldon, looking to play that one out, and Pollard's going to have to go in deep, because the forecheck is coming very aggressively from the Steeldogs. They almost fancy themselves on this forecheck here, as Cleaner loses control of that puck, and White's going to get the opportunity to lay it off. Pollard's going to get the chance to drive, but it takes a deflection up into the netting behind, with 8 and 33 played in the second.
Now, I did say the Phantoms are well known for being able to close out a lead. They're only a single goal ahead so far. We're not halfway through the game, but they are coming hard now to try and build on that lead. They know if they have that lead going into the final period, then they will back themselves for closing out the game with a 2-goal cushion, maybe 3. If they were to head into the third period that far ahead, then they would back themselves to close out. So they're going to work hard here now to try and generate lots of chances and get pucks on net.
Chance there for the drive there. Do that quite regularly, the Phantoms. They just look for that little drop pass and then trying to let their big men, either Sustas or Stepaniak, let fly with their opportunities. It's still going to be in there as Barry has to collect under a bit of pressure, and Morgan eventually does receive the puck. He looks for the outlet, finds it. Suster's under pressure though, forces the next play, and McEwen chasing in as well does the goods. This time Morgan's going to get the opportunity to come in. There's men at the net if he can find them, but unfortunately well defensively played there by Long. Now worked around all the way back out to the point. Morgan looking for the man in the rush, and it was Sharnock. It was nearly a good worked play. It was almost off the training ice. Anyway, back in there, McEwen now under pressure on his own defensive end as they look for the outlet pass, and eventually do find it as Sisters and then work hard, and it comes around to Stepaniak, who just lets fly at Stones. Stones will keep that one down in front of him. The pressure comes though, and Morgan has to keep a cool head to get his way out of that one.
This is good stuff that we're seeing here today, isn't it? This is good stuff in this second game. It's not been quite the offensive run and gun the first was, but we are seeing some good play.
We're seeing the opportunity. You're seeing very patient play, I think, from the Phantoms. They really are taking their time, and the Steeldogs are just trying to hit them where they can. Ralph now with the man, looking for the big pass, but it doesn't come off. Broken up though. Romeo tries to get through. Bell tries to set his man free. Spears just can't get in around the backside there, and that's actually going to work its way around to Salem. Salem just having to look up and see where he was, just lost it off the end of the stick. Still going to work it, gets the shot on, and that whistles up into the netting and away and high wide on Hanson with 10 and 4 played in the second.
Now, we have seen some good play in the neutral zone here, haven't we, Graham? Like in the first game, the teams wanted to battle it out in front of the nets. We are seeing also some tactical play in the neutral zone as well here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on with that there, because you're just seeing it's a very different way of setting up. Both teams, the Steeldogs are looking to put that big long ice pass out there, and Ralph is going to come under a lot of pressure here defensively and does actually very well to get something out of that into Salem there. You are seeing the Phantoms being more methodical, more calculating through the neutral ice. The Steeldogs are just looking to exploit any opportunity of getting the high man. It's funny because in the first, the Phantoms were quite regularly leaving a man high. As Kalina's now going to get a chance to skate in. He gets the drop off to Spears. Shot is broken up though. And Ralph and his man collide together. That's going to send Padalek. It's a 2-on-0. Alex Padalek lays it off. Once, twice, too many there. It should have been buried. Instead, Stones coming up with the goods.
Split-second decision for Padalek there, whether to shoot or whether to score. 50-50 really, because Stones was set for Padalek. He tried to feed it across, but then what a save from Stones, sliding across and getting that one in between the pads. What a save there. That may very well prove to be a crucial save, keeping this at a 1-goal game.
I mean, it all came from a comedy of errors where the two guys collided. It was quite funny. Up here, you're sort of trying to converse what you can see in words. You could see the two axes coming together there, and you're like,
what were we just saying? Tactical in the neutral zone.
Yeah, and then you see something like that and it just turns into comedy in the neutral zone. Anyway, puck round the boards there as the Steeldogs look to try and find a way out on this one. And they do so through Smith. Smith is taking the ice very well there, and he's actually got his head up on this one. The man's back door if he can find him, and he just couldn't get the shot off, unfortunately for him. Comes back to the point with a shot in front. Big little bit of a rebound off Mar there. You do fancy if the Steeldogs can get a few opportunities, a few might fall into the slot a little bit more with 11 and 8 played.
They're going to need to get men to the net though, because he may give up a rebound. They're not huge rebounds though usually, so they're going to have men near the crease.
Smith lays it into Kalina. He goes forehand, backhand, dances backhand, and that one sticks him through the legs. And we are back level here. Oh my life, this is a period and a half to remember for everybody in the building, because with 11 and 21 gone in the second, it's 3 apiece on the scoreboard. Milan Kalina with the goal.
Now that's great play because it's minimal play. There's very few passes to set that up. Onto Kalina. Kalina takes the zone skillfully. Now look at that. He's round 2 defensemen and then he's managed to bank it in through the 5-hole. That is a great goal and a quick, efficient play from the Steeldogs.
And I think it's worth pointing out here twice as well. Both those plays there, the one that scored the goal and then the one just before it as well. How quick it was. Tim Smith on the transition there. Twice Smith stepped into the play with speed, took the open ice, and then there he's the one setting up the pass for Kalina to go free. That is all coming out of the defensive end. That's superb play there by Smith, just reading the situation and going, right, this is where I can make an impact in this game. And now they've actually worked the puck in deep now, the Steeldogs, and I've said if they work it in deep they are causing trouble. The Phantoms are chasing shadows a little bit in their own end.
And Kalina was already on the move. He knew that play was coming too.
Exactly. It's a very, very smart play. Anyway, the Phantoms trying to find their way out as McEwen under a bit of pressure from Palak and Sharnock. And now Buglas is going to have to try and get the opportunity out himself. All he can do though is find it, and it's funny, probably about 5 minutes ago those passes would have fallen directly onto the stick of the Phantoms there. It falls into the open man as Sharnock, and that could be interesting because Spears is going to put that man under a lot of pressure there. Well played by Buglas to try and stand him up. Spears looking for it, gets the shot on, and it takes a deflection. That means it's not going to get finished. Salem working hard in there. Spears again, they've got behind the back of the Phantoms net, and I think this is where the Phantoms don't want to be playing, because the Steeldogs are hard-nosed, gritty, and they're getting it out of there. Salem now looking to try and create that opportunity. Looks it, gets the shot off, isn't quite clean there by Spur, and now the Phantoms are going to come out the other way themselves. It's coming forward through Alesh Padalek. He dances round his man, but he's forced round the back of the net, still tries to lay it off, and now there's an opportunity here. You're going to get a 2-on-2 break potentially if this one comes off at speed. Spur's going to collect it forehand, backhand, doesn't get it cleanly though as Hurst goes in for it. Spur and his man go in for a big collision along the board. Penalty coming up on the play against the Sheffield Steeldogs as well, as now Robert Ferrara will take it forward. Ferrara's going to be driven wide, gets the lay back into Weldon. Weldon's going to look for the support if he can find it, but it only finds a Steeldog man off the back door with 7 minutes to play in the period. Spur will be going off for a hooking call. I can finally call that one. And it'll be the Peterborough Phantoms on the power play.
We did see a slight change in tactics there for the Phantoms, because that chance that Padlek came, where he came, was forced behind the net. Where he's passed back, the two Phantoms defencemen were back on their own blue line, whereas earlier they'd been up joining the play. So we are seeing a change perhaps in tactics here. It's a 3-3, very tight game, but where Padlek flicked that round the zone, expecting a defenceman to be coming in to play it, they were back on their own blue line, not the offensive blue line.
It's fascinating. This is a real bit of a tactical battle going on out there. And the Steeldogs made their power play opportunity count earlier in the period. They'll be hoping that the Phantoms now will be making their own opportunity count. As Susters with the puck in deep, he's looking for the support of White. He's got Robson on the blue line if he fancies Robson, but instead he's going to hold it to himself, and he tries to find the pass out there to McEwen. McEwen, he's already driven one home, as Stepaniak's now got it. Stepaniak, he's going to come under pressure, held in, now he's going to fancy his chances, the big shot, rebound in front, still there, and it's in! It's Martin Susters. They put the puck on the net, they put the body on the net, and it's all of a sudden that power play only needed 30 seconds, but it's done the business for the Phantoms. They're 4-3 ahead.
That's good work from Martin Susters there on the blue line. He had a drive first, he's lost it, he's managed to hold it in, and then he's got the pass, he's got the shot off, and looking for the rebound. Look at that, body's in front of the net. Stones did very well to make the first save, but he's already down when the puck goes in.
Yeah, Stepaniak doing well there, and it was quite funny, all of a sudden the play opened up for him. The minute that you turned around and saw that there was this little bit of open ice, he was always going to drive into it.
Yeah.
He's got that cannon. He's going to let it fly. Worst comes to worst, it goes in the back of the net. If it doesn't go in the back of the net, there's a big chance it's going to fall to a rebound. Keep your eyes sharp. Susters did bury the rebound. Now Hunt gets a drive off. Big rebound into the slot there, but that one's going to be easily manageable with 13 and 44 in the second here. This has just been a goal fest. It's been great fun.
Rebound just there, wasn't it? A huge rebound.
Shows the power on the shot, as now Hunt is the next one, and he's already let one fly. Maybe he's going to let another one fly. He isn't, because instead the Steeldogs are going to try and come out the other way. Palak having to work to keep that one. Doesn't come out the zone, and Palak will get a drive, and it takes a little bit of deflection off a couple of players along the way as Sharnock's driven hard into the board. Now they're going to try and pick up the pieces again, and this time it is the Phantoms coming forward. Must be the end of a shift. Yep, Hunt dumps it on, and Stones is forced just to knock it down and take control of it as Morgan collects it behind the back of the net. Would this be a different game with Zamostra in net? You don't know. It could have been. At the end of the day, he's the NIHL 1 North All-Star first-line netminder. I don't think you can really blame Stones for any of these goals, though.
I don't think you can blame Stones, but the one thing I will say is perhaps having Zamostra in net would change the way the team plays, because he's not only a netminder, he's also someone that starts that quick transition that we've seen. James
Ferrara dances round his man, and he's going to get another chance going. The net comes off its moorings there, but Stones is down on it and covers it up with 14 and 46 played.
We've already seen the Steeldogs tonight benefit from that quick transition, haven't we? The outlet pass from Smith onto Kalina. If you've got Zamostra at the back also feeding that first pass forward, maybe, you can't blame Stones for any of these goals as yet tonight, but maybe if you've got Zamostra in there, perhaps changes slightly, not just the netminding, but the whole team dynamic.
Phantoms with the draw win, and it comes back to Padalek, whose shot disappears somewhere. Nobody quite sure. I think we've all agreed it's just going to stay in the zone off that one. But the number of times they do that, it's quite funny. They will set the man up just ready for the draw win into a quick shot here. It's an unusual position, but they seem to quite like the idea of it. You normally will see the guy go closer to the net rather than there. But here they're quite happy. This one works around. Padalek now with the drive, and that's a rebound that falls around the back end there. Just snuck through Stones, but job done. Phantoms now with it in deep as they try and work it out of that board battle, and they will do so as Padalek works his man. Smith putting him under a lot of pressure though, as Padalek lays it in again to Ferrara. Ferrara gets the layoff, Billing with the drive off balance, and it crept in behind the back of Stones, but the man got there, as we'll have an icing on this. No, we won't, because Salem's beaten it out there. He's done the job, and that's a very good change there for the Phantoms, but well played by Scott Robson to hold firm and keep that one as well. And now Robson's going to come forward with 15 and 30 played in the second. White with the layoff, man backdoor potentially is Weldon, but he overskates it. Man into the board there, driven hard as Bell, as Hurst picks up the pieces. And there's a little bit of a coming together between the two of them at the end of that as well. Wonderful sights to see. As it's now dumped forward, and Spur will go in under the chase against Norton. Still only a goal in it. Must be remembered, the Steeldogs definitely aren't out of this one. As it laid off to Calvert. Calvert tries to work it, but he can't, because instead it's going to be Norton, and this is going to be an on-rush here by the Phantoms. Weldon making his way to the net. He's not going to be able to get the shot off, though. He'll pick up the pieces, and he gets driven into the boards hard. There's a little bit of a collision behind the play as well there. As forward now comes Milan Kalina. Kalina gets the layoff into the on-rushes sport of Calvert, who lays it off to Morgan. Morgan looking for his man. Tip at the net. Rebound going to fall to Kalina. Gets the shot off. Blocked by his own man. And the Phantoms might be able to come out of it the other way now. They're going to take a little bit of time on this one as Martin Susters does some dancing and then takes a big hit for his trouble. And there's a little bit of afters in there as well with Kalina. And it's going to be a penalty on the play. It has been picked up by referees Matthews, that one. What doesn't surprise me, it was quite clear to everybody in the building. In fact, they all cheered at it. As Kalina now has it, he gets the dump back on the pass to Smith. Smith is going to skate this one forward at speed as the stick comes in on the play. Smith having to do well just to keep that one alive. Gets the layoff. Penalty will come in here.
Now, you would say sometimes there are what you call must-take penalties in the game. That one was not a must-take penalty. That was just a careless play at a tense time in the game. There's 3:07 to play in this period. Phantoms are up, and they've just given up a relatively easy power play chance on a nothing play.
It's a roughing call on Martin Susters, who gets call. 16:53 played in the period. Steeldogs were successful on their last power play opportunity. They'll want to be successful on this one as well.
If they can go into the interval tied at 4, then we are in for a fantastic third period.
You don't excite me. I'm already excited. Don't excite me even more. Anyway, Steeldogs here going to try and work this opportunity, getting the puck in deep, trying to work it around, back to the point, trying to find it. Shot comes in, it whistles high, wide, and handsome. It comes all the way back round to Bell. Bell with the opportunity, lays it off on the inside to Palak. Palak again, getting it. No, that's a good stick on the play, and that's still going to nearly be there. Who was that on the floor there? I think it was Scott Robson on the floor there, working hard. He'd lost his footing, was down on the play, got the stick in the lane, blocked it out. 1:30 to go on this power play opportunity for the Steeldogs. As forward comes Palak now. Palak rushes in at speed, gets the shot off, and it's a good blocker save. And that one goes up into the netting. Definitely did. 1:20 to go on the power play.
Now, that was a good old-fashioned box from the Phantoms, and they let that box just collapse down deep to protect their netminder. They were down, they battled, but because they were boxed and they boxed strong, they managed to get that stick on the play, eventually get the puck out, force the Steeldogs out. All right, they didn't actually get the puck away far, but they did manage to clear the danger.
Draw win though by Kalina, gets it, and it's Spears who's got it on the point. He's going to look to try and work this one around. Salem under pressure, and he gets it, and that's a great dance out here by Alish Padlek, and actually he's got the support of Will Weldon. He might have to go for it himself though. Padlek going forehand, backhand, goes on the backhand, Stones easy with the save in 1:06. If you just got that puck cleanly, you do fancy you might have been able to lay it across there to Weldon, who was on rushing.
Good recovery from Padlek though, who lost his feet crossing the red line, managed to recover by the blue line, but yeah, he never quite had the opportunity to get it across to Weldon, did he? He was just slightly battling to get it back under control.
It's that always trippy red line. It's always been a problem here in Coventry. It's been a problem for me in many ice rinks over the years, but mainly here. Anyway, back around then, the Steeldogs on this power play opportunity. 1-2 to play, as Salem will now come under pressure. He does get the pass on to Calvert, as him and James Ferrara continue their discussions up the ice there, as Morgan now collects it. Morgan looking to work this one in deep and create the opportunity. He's got it back on the blue line. Spears is going to get ready to unleash his shot point as it works his way across to him. He can't get it first time, gets it second time, and by the time he's got control of it, it's wide. But Kalina collects it, 40 seconds to go on the power play. Kalina with it now, lays it back. Morgan, man at the side there, but the pass was just a little bit slow, and Rob Ferrara is able to step in. And a gale when come the Phantoms, as Ferrara gets the lay into Billing, and Kalina having to pick up the pieces and take it behind the back of his own net with 25 seconds of this power play remaining. Morgan now works this one forward. They've got the support in there if they find it. Morgan with the tip, and this is going to be interesting. As, well, they're celebrating it, and the goal light has come on. This is very interesting.
Nothing awarded yet.
Nothing awarded yet. Our angle on this is going to be very interesting. I'm not making a call either way on this. There's going to be a lot of discussion about it. The red light eventually did come on.
The red light was not instant though, was it? The Steeldogs were celebrating before the red light came on. The red light's come on after the whistle.
It's going to be very interesting to see this. We've got our replay. Let's roll that replay again, please, if possible, because I missed it first time around. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eye on there. It's hard to keep two eyes on what's going on. So tight to call. At our speed, at our angle, we haven't got the perfect angle of it. Referee Stephen Matthews is now going to have a conversation. We're going tight. No, we're just behind the play on that one, unfortunately. Does it hit the back bar of the net is the question. This is where they're going to be asking, was it a front bounce or was it a back bounce? And there's big nodding of the head, big shake of the head, big nodding, big conversation. Steve Merry behind there as well, lots of conversation. That angle isn't going to help us. We're just slightly behind the play on that angle.
Now Stephen Matthews is doing the right thing here. He's consulting the goal judge because he's not sure. He wasn't ideally sighted to see it.
He's given a goal! He was unsighted. Linesmen have made their opinion. Further conversations going on behind the back of the net. I wonder, it's another late goal. It's another power play goal. But it's 4-4 on the scoreboard.
Now we are seeing special teams come into their own here. I mean, that was a great play. It was a great shot. Mar is beaten. There's no question about that. As you say, from our angle, it's almost impossible to tell whether it's gone in or not. Stephen Matthews has done the right thing. He's consulted with the goal judge, who arguably has the best view of what's going on. Now, the goal judge cannot rule whether it's a goal or not. The goal judge can only rule whether the puck in its entirety has crossed the goal line. And that is the question Stephen Matthews will have asked the goal judge. Did the puck entirely cross the goal line? Based upon that, Stephen Matthews awards the goal. Good work from the Steeldogs. And we are now tied again with 15 seconds left on that man advantage. The Steeldogs grab one and it's 4-4.
I'm losing track of the goal scorers in this game because it's been an outstanding period of hockey. 7 goals for you as well. It's a goal fest. Feast on it. Nom nom nom. Wonderful stuff. All these goals. There were some people who were walking around the building at the end of the first thinking, oh, here we go. This is how it's going to pan out. But this has turned into the goal fest.
Well, we called this a defensive battle.
So Charlie Thompson accredited with the goal, thanks to him getting the final tip on it. And can the Steeldogs actually get another one here? Because Kalina's trying to work it in there. Calvert wafted at air when there was a potential opportunity for him. You said a minute ago you want that goal. It's going to set up an intriguing third period.
Didn't I?
And here we go, but there's still going to be an opportunity here because Susters is trying to create an opportunity of his own. It goes in around the boards, and this is actually going to come out the other way now. And Spur has opened up his legs a little bit, and maybe an opportunity.
Now
Has to throw the brakes.
We're seeing a real seesaw here, aren't we, of momentum?
Indeed, Spur gets the layoff, trying to lay it into the slot because Kalina was sat there begging, waiting for it. Stepaniak did the job on him there, though, and did it defensively as well. And it goes, clears out the zone. Is that going to go for icing? Not getting blown up there with 20 seconds to play. But yeah, it really is. It shows how neither side are really taking the hold in this game. You have those 2 goals for the Phantoms. You thought, right, the Phantoms got this. But every question that's been asked of them, the Steeldogs have come up with an answer as that puck nearly falls into the slot as well. And the Phantoms don't get the clear here with just the final seconds on the buzzer. Morgan can't get anything on it. And the buzzer will sound for the end of a 7-goal period.
This has been a fantastic period of hockey. This is a totally different game to the first. By the first, we knew clearly who was in the driving seat in the first game. In this game, by this stage, end of the second period, it's anybody's. The next 20 minutes of hockey are going to be huge here at the Skydome.
Let's try and round this one up for you. So coming into the period, the Steeldogs were, of course, 1 goal in the lead, but Glenn Billing and Corey McEwen made sure that the Phantoms were going to a 2-1 lead. Then Ashley Calvert had his response on the power play for the Steeldogs. Weldon then had the answer. Kalina, with that great bit of individual skill built from Tim Smith's play at the back, then did the job. And it looked like when Martin Susters made the most of the rebound off of Petr Stepaniak's drive, the Phantoms would finally take the foothold in the game. But a tip from Charlie Thompson proving all the difference at the end there. We've got a fascinating 20 minutes coming up. Don't you go anywhere, because at the end of the second period in the NIHL Final 4 semi-final number 2, it's all tied at 4 apiece between the Peterborough Phantoms and the Sheffield Steeldogs. For some of you on the stream, we did roll the replays a couple of times about the fourth goal for the Sheffield Steeldogs, and I think the words we're speaking to a few people around the building. Some believe it's hit the back bar, which is what I believe it has done. Other people believe it's hit bar, post and out. There's plenty of solutions. I think our replays are... We're watching them on a slightly smaller screen. I need a bigger screen to be able to really tell it and rock and roll it, to use a DRS terminology for the cricket fans out there, because you really need to rock it and roll it to see exactly what it happens at such a quick speed. The goal judge says he was throwing the light on the minute it happened. The second it happened, he's hit the light. So even though we've seen the light come on a little later, he was hitting it and there was an issue with the light. So
It is worth saying that everybody involved, the goal judge, the referee, all only get one chance to see it, and that's at full speed. They don't get the opportunity to zoom it in, to rock and roll it, to slow it down. They get one chance to make that call. What it has done, though, is it's set up an enthralling third period here. With these teams going in 4-4, Peterborough, their success so far this year has been to build the lead and to defend it. And the Steeldogs, every time the Phantoms have got ahead, the Steeldogs have come back and done something that has seen them stay in this game. And here we are at 4-4. It's anybody's for the next 20 minutes.
It really is, and I do wonder if you're going to see a very similar story to what we saw at the start of the second period, where the Phantoms are going to come out all guns blazing. They want to run away with this. They want to bury it, because at the moment they're having to chase their legs. Anyway, let's get to the action. As referee Matthews has his arm in the air. And we're just going to wait a little bit here. The players getting ready for this one. As we get underway in the third period of the NIHL Final Four, semi-final number 2. 4 apiece on the scoreboard. Plenty to play here between the Peterborough Phantoms and the Sheffield Steeldogs. A 7-goal period after a 1-goal first. Be interested to see how this one pans out. Are we going to see more of the same, or are we going to see a very open style of play? And the way it's going at the moment, well, that is going to be an offside on the play there, as Padalek just lost control of that one with 22 seconds gone in the period. Be interested if this play is going to be expansive, if we're going to retract back to the form that we saw in the first, where it's very cagey and very controlled defensively. Phantoms, you can see there, are looking for that big get through the neutral zone quickly, big cross-eyes pass, open up the play.
We predicted a very defensive battle here, didn't we? And that's not, I mean, 7 goals is not a defensive battle, 7 goals in a period. I think the Phantoms are going to go out here, certainly early in this period, looking for those big passes, looking for the high success rate plays.
Indeed. Anyway, forward comes Spears now. He's going to get the shot on that Mars forced into the save, and does do so. And Spears will now try and work this one around. Salem will collect it now, and he gets driven hard into the boards here. Salem looking to try and work it out there, but he's held up well by Rob Ferrara. And Ferrara will go back into battle with Salem again. Those two have had a little tussle all night long. This time it's the Ferrara brother who comes out on top, and forward do come the Phantoms as Weldon gets the layoff into his man, gets the return pass, shot it into the net! We said it was going to be an early goal the Phantoms wanted, and that's the one they got. It's the second of the night for Will Weldon, with just 51 seconds on the clock in the period. The Phantoms back into a 5-4 lead.
Now that's a good play from the Phantoms, because it's a quick transition, a little bit of pressure from the Steeldogs behind the net, worked out hard there from Rob Ferrara to dig the puck out, and then he sets the Phantoms forward, and this is a great quick play, very minimal play, as few touches as possible, and a great goal there for the Peterborough Phantoms, sees them 5-4 up.
Oh, we said it needed an early goal, and again it's simple transitional play. They're getting through that neutral zone fairly quickly, exploiting the opportunities that are there, and that's one. Okay, Stones might want that one back. We're on the wrong angle to see exactly what happened, but as you say, it's a quick release. There wasn't much in it. It was just into the touch. It was control and touch and go, which is good. Now the Steeldogs have got it all to do again, as forward comes Ralph now trying to work it in from the defensive end, but Buglas is going to be under pressure as Stepaniak will look to try and create this opportunity, going for that cross-ice pass. Cleaner can't get control of it, and Susters will now go into battle against Bell as he gets driven hard into the board. No call on the play, despite the calls of the Steeldogs bench. As forward come the Steeldogs into Calvert. Calvert's got it, he's got men at the net if he can find him. Calvert's going to get the opportunity. Too many bodies there, and eventually it does fall out, and it goes all the way out into neutral ice, where it is collected by Barry, and Barry just takes a little bit of time on the puck. No need to rush it as the Phantoms get some fresh legs out. Dumped in around the boards hard, and it's going to be chased in by Spur.
What we've seen here in this period, though, is great play, because in the last period there were sticks in the lanes breaking up the passes. That Phantoms goal, minimal passes, minimal chances to have the puck taken from them.
Calvert lays it into Cleaner, who gets the pass back to Barry as Barry looks to take it forward, but it's broken up in the middle of the ice, and Jace Ferrara is going to have Padalek back door if he can find him. Padalek has to get it out the skates. Big save first up, big save again. Rebound still in the zone if Padalek can get something on it. Instead, it's going to be Cleaner coming away with the puck. Cleaner going to look to create an opportunity of some sort. Gets the layoff, but it will bobble around. Long can only dump it into the boards. 2:17 played. Phantoms looking to create that one. Referee Matthews trying to get out of the way, and now James Ferrara will get the heads up on the play. Billing wasn't expecting to receive it, eventually does do so though as he lays it into White, where Barry and him will go into battle. Barry being very heavily involved in the early stages of the third period here as the Steeldogs go for the big ice pass. Does it come off? And we'll have an icing on the play, taking it down all the way with 2:40 played.
That icing there against the Steeldogs, though, you could see the intention was that quick transition again. They need to hit the Phantoms fast. The Phantoms now do have a lead, not a big one, so they don't have to go all out now to attack. But you could see the intention with the Steeldogs there, although it's not worked on that time because of the icing, was to get that big, quick cross-ice pass.
Phantoms with the draw win out to Robson on the point. The pressure comes in from Palak though, and he can't get it clean, but well done. 2 goals to his name so far tonight. Would dearly love to make it a Coventry hat-trick for him, as Pollard will now open up his legs to try and create the opportunity. Skates away, but only can find the man of Barry, and Barry gets driven hard into the ball by White. Been a long little shift of this one as Sharnock able to get the clear out. Charlie Thompson, who scored the 4th goal for the Steeldogs, gets the shot on, but it disappears past the post. Not going to trouble anyone there. Is picked up on the rebound though. And they do try and work this one around, but into the ball battle, and it will be the Phantoms who come away with it. The bounces all fall in their way just at the moment, like that one there, because Robson's going to be able to work it out the zone. Can dump it on though, get fresh legs on as the Steeldogs will collect behind the back of their own net, trying to find their way into this one as Sharnock drops it back onto the supporting body of Smith, who's been very impressive. Maybe a too many men call. It's not that on that occasion. We're going to get away with that one as the Phantoms now try and work this one out themselves. Robson under a little bit of pressure, takes a funny couple of bounces off the boards, and Long will feel that for his pains. As Salem lays in a late hit there on the play, and no call on it as Sisters goes to that big cross-arse pass to Stepaniak, back into McEwen. McEwen looking backdoor for Sisters, just underskated that one. Now Sisters going to try and work this one around for himself, driven hard into the board, a little bit of an elbow on the play. Oh, and the love and war in there as they're having a good little battle in there. They're letting it go, great to see. Stepaniak lays it back to McEwen, his shot past the post. 4 and 7 to play. Played, sorry, into it. Back, one touch passing, neat play. Steeldogs going to try and get Romeo, comes flying out the bench there with the fresh legs for the Phantoms as they'll come back the other way now through Hurst. Hurst is going to put Buglas under pressure. No call on the play. Men going down all over the ice. Referee Matthews, whistle in pocket at the moment. Now collected by Kalina. Kalina just loses it off the end of the tape and has to work it back around, but this time Calvert will be able to chase in there on Long. Lays the body on as Buglas goes in as well. All the battling going on at the moment as Spears can't get, sorry, Kalina can't get that one. So forward do come the Phantoms, and it's nicely danced there by Long. He spots a bit of open ice as he'll try and take this one in behind the back of the net. Long looking to try and lay to an on-rushing man. Can't find anyone once, can't find anyone twice. Lays it around and Romeo can't get there either. Dumped out though, and the Steeldogs will try and collect it as Spur lays it very neatly into Calvert. Calvert's got support from players, but he's going to take it on himself with Kalina on the back end. Calvert comes in, that'll be offside on the play though. Kalina had overskated it. And I think he was shaking his head at Calvert there, because Calvert should have released it a little bit earlier instead of the offside play with 5 and 9 gone in the third.
Frustrating when that happens, isn't it? You think, you know, yeah, we've got a chance here. We're going to break, and just a little bit too long there, like before that pass was released. He'd already gone in the zone, and that's an opportunity nullified there, you think. Phantoms, though, have played very well so far in this period. They've nullified the Steeldogs' chances so far, really.
Well, they haven't got in deep yet, have they, the Steeldogs, which was proving in that second period. Every time the Steeldogs were able to sort of get the puck behind the back of the Phantoms' net, there wasn't much in the way of answer from the Phantoms, and you do think if they're able to get there again, they'll get another reward, and in a 1-goal game, that's all they need at the moment. But the Phantoms at them look like they've just tried to reset. Sharnock tries to work that one in, and now the Phantoms do well. There you go, example again. Don't get there. Rob Ferrara breaking up the play, lays it off to James Ferrara. Now Morgan going to be under pressure, offside on the play, coming up against the Phantoms, but it's held out as Ferrara works it around. That'll take a friendly bounce off the board, and Billing, oh, it could have just fallen into his skate there. It just didn't. Instead, it's going to be a bit of a ball battle. And at the moment, that puck is pinging around because it's going to fall into Billing. Lays it off to Padalec's shot, saved by Stones. And again, Padalecki, he's picking up all those loose pucks at the moment, just spotting the opportunity, works it in, gets the shot off, but that's going to go disappearing up into the netting on the other side with 6 played in the third.
We said in the build-up, didn't we? Padalecki is not a big showman import. He's not one of these big flashy imports that you're going to see, but he's a workman. He's a workhorse. He gets the job done day after day after day. He's put up good numbers, but not only does he put up good numbers, he also works hard. He works hard. He's not afraid to battle for any occasion, for any puck.
Draw win then comes back to Buglas, who takes control of it on the blue line, nearly loses off the handle but just does enough to keep control as Pollard isn't able to do much, and Scott dumps it on into Cleaner. Cleaner's got Spears in support, and I suspect you're going to see a lot of Cleaner in this period as the Steeldogs try and get something from this game. Pollard now gets the dump off into Hunt, who dumps it in deep, where Scott will pick up the pieces with Smith in support. Smith, a big tall body, and that's actually some very nice hands there just to create that opportunity under a lot of pressure, but does lose it off the tape in the end.
Are we seeing Cleaner double shifting already now? Because he's been out a lot, hasn't he, this period?
Yeah, it's funny, he's no longer out there with Calvert and such like, and I do suspect you're just going to see a lot of him as they try and work him into this game. Rob Ferrara trying to come out the other way with it now, as Susters isn't able to do anything with it. Spur picks it up and will try and pick up a little bit of open ice, dumps it on and works it around for the chase in. Ralph steps in, Cleaner again on the play there, trying to create something, and the big open ice pass there nearly came off there as they were trying to find an on-rushing McEwen. McEwen does now indeed receive it and will try and create it, but Spell is strong and stops him from doing so. And this is where the Phantoms will be happy. If they can play with it in here and keep control of the play, they're not going to worry about it too much as Stepaniak tries to tip it on, but not a problem. Comes back the other way. 7:30 played in this third period.
You can see now Phantoms are happy to allow time to tick away now that they are ahead.
It's just sensible play here, isn't it, as they go for the tip on, and there you go. Stepaniak will send in Weldon to chase up against Stones. Stones is more than matching to it, and forward comes Cleaner now as he goes down on the play. Penalty coming up against the Phantoms here, and we know how dangerous the Steeldogs have been on this power play here tonight.
Well, it is a chance now for them. 7:54 played in the third period. They are down by a goal, but it is a chance for them. We've seen them work the puck in deep. We've seen them have a good, solid power play, and this could be their chance to level up this game. It's by no means done with 7:54 played in the third. Even a one-goal deficit, no means done. So this is a great chance for the Steeldogs now.
And I'm just keeping my eyes out on Cleaner. He's just about coming to the face-off circle. He is looking a tired man. I can't think he's had actually a break since... He's been out there for a good 2 minutes on shift, and this might be about to tell here because there's going to be an opportunity for the Phantoms to get him deep! And it does do so. Has the legs done it? It's a short-handed opportunity. It's another smart play just laid in for Glenn Billing to take the finish with 8:04 played in the third. And could that be the goal that makes all the difference? The play stretched and it just worked out for them. Morgan had to commit. Billing was their back end. 1:50 left on the power play, but it's the Phantoms who come up with the short-handed goal. Good play here by Ferrara. And again, just spotting the opportunity to lay it off into the on-rushing Billing.
Now, I did say the Steeldogs' power play had been dangerous. Is this perhaps the first miscalculation we've seen here of rolling that tired line as the first power play line, because they were caught there for speed in the neutral zone, and again they weren't quick enough defensively to get back and prevent that short-handed goal.
Indeed, and you do wonder, don't you, because that was just where they got caught out. And it's laid into power. Padalecki was nearly in for another opportunity of his own there. You do just wonder, don't you? Because Kalina was struggling. He wasn't struggling. He just looked tired. The body said he was tired. His body language told us a board battle breaks out there. And even the clock isn't rolling at the moment in the building, which is a little bit of a problem. Now it is. Eventually, it was just a little bit of a delay on the clock starting there as Smith dances around. And it's laid into Bell. Bell will dump it on now into Spur to go in there, but Norton will pick up the pieces, wrap it around the boards, and actually as Susters opens up his leg here, Morgan's going to have to move quickly across ice to get it. Oh, it nearly fell handily to him as well.
That again was the speed there. Susters was winning on that race, and the Steeldogs are tiring. I think they are short. They're double shifting now, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, they've shortened the bench indeed. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to roll back around. Shots here comes in. Mar going to see that one all the way, and there's a little bit of afters between Spur and Robson. Just a little bit of a stir up. You wonder, just a little bit of getting underneath the skin.
Now, no reflection on the quality at all here, but if the Steeldogs have shortened their bench, that's going to take more out the legs of each player that's going to be shifting, whereas the Phantoms are still, at the moment, rolling a full bench of lines.
Now, there's a little bit, the clock didn't roll. I don't quite understand why the Steeldogs players are arguing about the clock not rolling, because surely that works in their favour. They've got more player play time. But let's just see how this one works out, and referee Matthews is going to go across and have a little bit of a chat. We're talking probably 5 seconds at best, maybe 10 seconds.
I'd say no more than 5 seconds, but I'm not sure why it is the Steeldogs that are the ones raising objection to it, because they're the ones that could do with those extra 5 seconds with the game situation as it is.
So the referee Matthews, we're just going to explain this one very briefly and say what's actually happened. I reckon there'll be a few seconds to take off the clock here. So the game clock going back up. Oh, this is where it gets confusing with the clocks here. I don't like the fact that one clock goes up and the other clock goes down. I don't understand technology. It's like the Millennium Bug all over again. That's what it is. I don't understand it. Anyway, right, so the new game situation for you all at home. There is 9:01 played in the third period, and there are 54 seconds of power play remaining for the Steeldogs. So actually it took off about...
They've shortened their power play now as well.
Yeah, indeed. No,
That's a strange call from the Steeldogs, I think.
Really arguing about it, but maybe they're not happy about it. But anyway, let's roll on.
It's cleaner out there again.
Indeed. Well, he's had a bit of a breather. The Phantoms come up with a draw win. It goes all the way down the ice. He had a breather for a minute there while they sorted out the clock. So anyway, puck in deep now. Maybe an opportunity for the Steeldogs to come out of it through Cleaner. Cleaner trying to create this opportunity. Dances once, dances twice, but it's offside on the play before he can unleash the trigger with 9 and 19.
Is this where the Phantoms can now afford to, once they've killed this penalty, is this where they can afford to say, right, we've got 2 goals, so we can afford to hang back just a little bit now. We're just seeing on the as the camera zooms in on Milan Kalina there, he is exhausted, isn't he, Graham?
Yeah, those legs. By all means, you're trying to suck in every bit of oxygen you can. If you was here this morning, it was Baltically cold. There was probably more oxygen in here then. Right now, those legs will be churning and legs will be working, because the Steeldogs need some goals if they're to get anything from this. It's puck's worked in deep as now Cleaner lays it off. Shot comes in, rebound in front, still there. Morgan going to pick up the pieces. 16-second of power play. Cleaner with it again. Cleaner looking for an opportunity. Calvert there, he's got Spears. Spears lets fly, rebound off Marr. Good play there by Ferrara, just holding it up enough. And Billing will go in on the chase on Morgan now, who looks as fresh as the day he started here. Goodness me. Penalties all over now for the Phantoms, so it's back to full strength, and Cleaner will try and come forward, and the tired legs paying off there. Stepanek goes down, takes a big hit for his trouble, and we're looking around. There's no call on the play as Calvert will now try and take this one forward, and Thompson actually took a hit on the play that he didn't like there as Calvert dances, does so well to get to a certain point, but then can't unleash the shot. Susters goes with the big cross ice number, and I think we're going to start seeing a few hits being laid in a little late here. Certainly Susters and Thompson had a little word with each other there. Forward now comes Ralph, who lays it off neatly into the on-rushing man. Goes in as well on the support, but can't quite get all the way there as Palak will now pick up the pieces with 10 and 32 played. As Bell works that one back in. Palak going to try and get this onto his forehand. Will do so here. Maybe going to have an opportunity. Blocked up. Rebound collected by who else but Palak. He again looks for an opportunity. Lays it in. Thompson. Chop puck as a fall there. Sharnock wasn't able to finish the rebound. 10 and 50 played.
We've seen Cleaner double shift before the power play.
It's another double
power play.
Sorry, it's another double collision there between Sheffield players. It's like they've got magnets in their bodies. As Stepaniak goes down and plays on his backside as he keeps that one alive. Just
under 9 minutes to go. How much more of Cleaner will we see? Because the Steeldogs need his production, don't they? But equally, the longer he plays, the more tired he gets.
Well, he hasn't jumped back out for this shift change yet, and there's again a little bit of afters at the net with Thompson having a little bit of a word in there, and you do wonder, okay, is this one you sit him for, is this one you bring him in for? He is stood on the bench just looking exhausted. There's no other word of describing what he looks like on the bench.
Slumped more than stood, he was a moment ago.
He is looking like he's not going to go out for this shift. They're happy with what they got on the ice for this one. But yeah, you're probably looking at maybe 6 minutes of Kalina here, which is a long ask for him. But if you want to win, that's what you got to do. You got to roll your best players. And the Phantoms, as you say, they killed that penalty. They'll probably sit back here. They'll probably stretch past the game out, I feel, as the pressure comes in from Ferrara. But Smith comes the other way. I think they'll try and stretch past this game out now as Smith tries to take it forward. Well played there by Long to stop that opportunity. And again, he'll just lay it into the on-rushing Padalek. Padalek's going to get an opportunity to come in. He's going to try and do something with it. But he gets held up very well on the play. Into the boards he goes. Morgan battling hard to keep that one alive. Padalek with it again, but Smith will hold his body up in there as they battle it, and it eventually will come out, and that's a good little play there. Just spotting an opportunity to skate away. Dumped in, but it's held up, and the on-rushing Steeldogs men. This might be one of those opportunities where the Phantoms can turn around and play it out the other way as we go into the final 8 minutes here, as that's a lovely pass in. They're going to exploit his man out the back. Relf goes into a battle in the corner with White, who sits down on the puck. But it will be playable. Relf gets his head up and tries to work it around into Calvert. Calvert lays it on a backhand pass across the slot that really wasn't going anywhere, and it falls into Kalina in the end, and he'll try and work this one out. Kalina gets the shot off. Marr going to see that one all day long and glove it down with 12 and 29 played in the period.
Now, what the Phantoms haven't, what the Steeldogs haven't done is they've not really screened Marr well at all in this period. Marr is one of the better goalies at this level, and if he can see the puck, he's going to save the majority of the shots that he can see. The Steeldogs are going to need to look to try and get some form of traffic around it and some screen. If they can get pucks and players to the net, then they've got a chance. If they're going to have wide open shots, long distance shots, without him having any form of screen or interference in his vision, he's going to save them.
Shot there from Calvert off the quick draw, doesn't come up to anything, and the Steeldogs have to collect. No, I agree. They haven't got the puck in deep this period. I think that was the difference. The Steeldogs, when they were successful in the second period, were getting the puck in deep, making the Phantoms work as another shot comes in. Well, we'll keep that one alive, actually, and Long goes into trouble against Kalina, and that's a hit that he doesn't want to be taking at this moment in the game, Kalina. As it's laid on, McEwen's going to go in one-on-one. Stones, he got there in the end, because it looked like he didn't know whether to come or go. He decided to stay, and it paid off for him as it's laid across Stepan, yet backdoor! Oh, it's slick passing for the Phantoms. There's nothing you can do about that defensively. That's just superb, carving a part of the game. The Phantoms spotted their opportunity. It's Martin Susters again with the goal. With 13 minutes played, it's 7-4 Phantoms. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote.
Now, we've seen in 30 seconds of play two very different styles. A speculative shot on Marr at one end from quite a way out in the zone, whereas at the other end the Phantoms have rushed in, they've gained the zone and they've put pressure on. Great first save from Stones, but then with the second chance the Phantoms have buried it. And why? Because they had bodies at the net. They had the puck there, they had bodies there, and they were able to capitalise on that. 3 goals ahead with 7 minutes left now. A huge ask ahead for the Steeldogs, you say?
Yeah, I'm doing commentator's kiss of deaths at the moment, aren't I? But just turn around and going, and that's all she wrote. But it does feel that way because you just don't see them giving this up. Ferrara's going to step in here. It could be 8 very soon. Stones coming up with the pad save. Feel I'm so fortunate for Stones. He did everything he could there. Came up with the good save first time round in one of those do you commit, do you not commit against McEwen. But the trouble was is the defence, while they were picking up their pieces, the rest of it was there as well as Padalek dumps it forward to Ferrara. Ferrara going to look for Padalek, who tries to get the shot off near side, and Barry just about keeps it alive, and Morgan does so as well. And the Steeldogs will now come out the other way. They'll look for the opportunity. Dumped in on Palak, and that's where Ferrara's now going to try and pick up the play. Palak will collect it, and he will try and work and dance and do something with it. He can't. Morgan will skate across, get to the stick, but that one goes up high. And he's held up by White, who's going to be under pressure here from Sharnock, and a bit of a foot race, and well, White comes out on top of that one. It's hit into the boards hard. Goes all the way down the ice. No icing on the play because Spears tried to play it as he came off the bench, so with 14 and 5 gone in the period.
Steeldogs need to work hard here on getting bodies to the net. You've got to get a lot of traffic around the net. You've got to get a puck in there. If you are going to try and these long distance shots, you've got to have Marr screened.
Well, they got him behind the back door there. Marr is desperately scrabbling for that one. Eventually it is there. Good little bit of play there by Salem. Proving himself that great player that he can be at times.
So we have 5:41 to play and a 3-goal deficit now for the Steeldogs. Phantoms, as I've said before in this game, they have made their reputation this year by working hard to gain a lead. They start cautiously, then they open up, they get their lead. Once they've got their lead, they know that they can play a safe game. They'll be happy now to defend this 3-goal lead for the remainder of the game.
Spears with the shot, good glove save by Mar, but it does pop out of the mitt and comes back out. Be interested to see if Slava starts rotating the line, that's not the word I'm looking for. Maybe gives the likes of Jack Escott, who are sat on the sideline there, maybe give him the opportunity to experience what it's like to play in these games and get a couple of shifts in there as well, just so you can experience what it's like to play in these games.
Well, yeah, because every player has started out, haven't they, as a junior at some point in time, and you work your way up. And the way you do that is by getting the shifts when the game allows for the younger players. Now, obviously, this is a crucial game. It's a playoff semi-final, so you can't, be rolling all the inexperienced players from the start. But once we get to this point in the game, it's an ideal opportunity to see him out there. McEwen's
going to get a chance to get the shot off. That whistle's past the post, though. It will be collected up, and McEwen will actually keep that one alive, and it nearly fell on the end of Stepaniak's stick, but instead it's going to be battled into the corner there, where Scott's going into a little bit of a driving maul in the corner. Eventually do get a come away with it, the Steeldogs, and they will find the break, but it's going to come out. As Tim Smith, I think he's had an impressive match tonight for the Steeldogs. Tim Smith have been very impressed at both ends of the ice as they lay it in there. Mar has to still be alert to stop that opportunity from sneaking in, as does Taylor Romeo to stop that one from also going back around, as there's a little bit of afters in there from Salem as well. Just something to keep the fans happy with, really, isn't it, with 15 and 20 played, and indeed the Phantoms will take it a little bit easy behind the back of their own net now. No need to rush the game is in their control, and passes like that don't help, because Spur's going to get it. He's going to spot a chance to put a shot on. Mar's forced to do something about it, but it was going wide. Calvert now collects it, works it back to Ralph. Ralph turns it over, though, and this is going to be an opportunity here for Hunt. He's going to find support, going himself, lays it back to James Ferrara! It's a job done. It was a good pinch play there by Hunt on it, Jarvis Hunt, sorry, jumping in on it, making sure he could get the opportunity. James Ferrara showing his experience to jump in as well. It's 8-4.
That's another piece of good work from the Peterborough Phantoms, because that was the speed. Quick transition, and that was great for Ferrara there, also jumping in on the play, because Hunt was all alone at one stage, and it was a 0% play, but Phantoms have followed it up well. They've sent a man with him, and there you see the reward. 8-4 with 4:15 to play. It's all over now.
You mean when I said it was all over at 7-4, it wasn't all over? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's all over now.
Now you've said it.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. And that's all they wrote. Who is it with the typewriter? That's what it feels like. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, right? I can remember Murder She Wrote, but I can't remember all she wrote. Anyway, Kalina's trying to do something himself, but it's offside on the play. It was 16 and 6 played in the period. He's gone off in a tangent, this hasn't it? Kev's giving me this look as if to say, yeah, we know where these tangents go. Yeah, all right, yeah. It gets dangerous when you go down this pathway. Yeah.
So now the question for the Steeldogs is, do we, I mean, it's virtually gone, do we rotate Kalina now and just tire him out, knowing that should the miracle happen, he's going to be exhausted by tomorrow?
No, the question you're asking right now, if the Steeldogs, is do you want beer or wine as your drink at the end of the match? I will be honest with you.
What's your tee-off time for tomorrow?
Which one would you prefer right now? Would you like the vodka, or would you like the whiskey drink? Would you like the vodka drink? Would you like the lager drink, or would you like the cider drink? I mean, that's the question you're asking right now. I can't believe you're saying tire out Kalina. No. That's gone. I mean, it could be commentator's kiss of death, but that's not happening. It's Chumbawamba time, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, forward come the Phantoms as they're going to look to left to their advantage. Stones with the save. Rebound falls into the slot for White to try and create something. Pollard whaps it around the boards, and instead it's going to be picked up here by Sharnock. Sharnock with the drive that will keep Mar honest and keep the puck alive, and the chase does come in for the bodies at full speed. Maybe a chance there they can get on it. Laid off. Palak with it now, going to work that one back out to the point. Dumped around. Good hit on the play there by Charnock, trying to create something. Norton there as well. Steeldogs actually getting in behind the back of the net and nearly again create the opportunity as Thompson tries to lay it off to his man. Morgan's going to step in from off the point. This time it's going to go, oh, Susters took control of the puck. I did think for a second he was going to get an opportunity to skate free. Stepaniak's got it now into Susters. Susters going to wheel and deal, try and create his chance, but that one's easily seen and saved by Brandon Stones in the Steeldogs net.
So we are going to see tomorrow a North versus South final. We do have the chance of that quadruple still alive for tomorrow. There's still a little bit left in this game, but you would say the Phantoms are already planning for tomorrow, most definitely, and we're going to see the chance of that quadruple alive.
Mark, I appreciate this is year one of the game, but listen to the men with experience as the Steeldogs come flying forward and the shot goes up into the netting. Listen to the men with experience. When I turn around and say that the game is done with 5 minutes to go and it's a 3-goal game, it means the game is done. We proved that in game one. It's never ever gone wrong in the history of this commentary, has it, boys and girls? Don't laugh. It's gone wrong quite a few times when I've gone, that's all she wrote, and then someone scores an equaliser. Anyway.
It's done. We can agree, it's done.
It's done. That's not any discredit to the Steeldogs, because I think they've put up a tremendous fight here tonight. For 3 times they had the answers when the Phantoms got things going. Maybe they're going to have another answer here for another chance to get on the score sheet as Spears puts the shot on. Marr being kept very honest at the moment. Kulikov won't be happy with the amount of effort his side are having to go into and work here. They'll be a little bit upset on that front. But forward they come, and they're looking dangerous every time as the pass goes on from long there, where it tries to find Billing, who dumps it around the back of the net. 2 minutes to play then in this semi-final game.
Now for the Phantoms, it is about energy conservation for tomorrow, because we know how they're going to be tough on them.
We're talking about the Phantoms, we're not talking about the Steeldogs. That's the right way on this one at the moment, because Smith is going to be my selection for man of the match for the Steeldogs. I don't think he's going to win it, but he is my selection at least, is Smith, as Kalina dances. He's got an opportunity, forehand, backhand, doesn't get anything off because Norton does a stick on the play, stops it. Calvert gets there as well with 1 minute and 30 now to play as it's picked up by Hunt. Hunt looks out for Romeo. Romeo under a bit of pressure there, but eventually, as they battle away for this puck, they do so as Rob Ferrara picks it up. He looks to wheel it out from behind the back of the net under a lot of pressure. No call on the play. Chance then for the Steeldogs, well broken up by Norton and Rob Ferrara again. Tries to lay it off the stick and the net, and that one's actually a poor turnover pass because Lewis Bell's going to step into this one. Minute to play. Mark Denham still thinking that this one might be a close game as Kalina takes a stick on the play. Romeo gets the chance on, saved by Stones, kept alive as Ralph comes out the other way. Kalina's going to have a little bit of a word at the net there with Norton. And I think he's going to call this one. It's actually Cook who's gone over there and seen it. Little bit of afters in there. It's icing on the play, and I think Cook might just have a little word with Matthews about what happened on his way off there, as Kalina certainly wasn't happy about what happened, felt he took a high stick on the play. And Jack Escott does indeed get a shift here. Number 88 for the Phantoms. Great moment for him.
Yep, big occasion, big crowd.
Kalina having to go into the face-off circle because, of course, he was on the icing, on the ice when it was icing. And he's now going to try and just stir up anything he can as the shot falls. Rebound maybe there, and it's another goal. And this time, after his great work earlier on in Jarvis Hunt in setting up James Ferrara, he's got the goal himself now in 19 and 13 played in the third period. It's a 9th goal for the Phantoms.
Well, the fans that like goals are seriously going to enjoy this game now. We are just seeing goals galore in this period. Good effort by Stones, but it's just fantastic work from the Phantoms here. And a great play there as it's fed across. Stones trying everything he can to dive, the stick, the blocker, but he couldn't stop it. Phantoms 9, Steeldogs 4, and that is all she wrote, of course.
That is all she wrote. Well, of course, that's all she wrote, with 9 and 17 gone in the period. 9 and 4, and there are crowd chanting want 10. That's unfair on the Steeldogs. I don't want 10 for them because I don't think Stones deserve it. I think Stones has done very well. I think the Steeldogs 9-4 is it's a reflection on some of the dominance, but it's an over-flatterment in some respects about what this side has done as Palak now tries to put the pressure on as we enter into the final 20 seconds of this one. Escott's still out on the ice as it dances back across for the Steeldogs. They'll look to just take this one and dump it forward. Douglas will get it. He works it round the back of the net. Maybe a drop off the board, but We expected a tight affair, we expected a nervy affair. What we've seen is a 9-4 affair in the end, as the Peterborough Phantoms, having been 1-0 down, turn this one around in emphatic fashion.
Now, I think you're right. It's not, 9-4 is a massive blowout win at this level, but I don't think it's a fair reflection on the game. The Steeldogs have tried so hard to get back into this game when they fell down, but at 4-4, this game was anyone's. Every time the Phantoms did something, the Steeldogs had an answer, but come the third period, it seems the Phantoms just had an extra gear to go up into, and the Steeldogs were just short of the pace, and they failed to capitalise on their good first two periods.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't... This is the thing. Is the monster going to make a difference? I don't think so. I think Stones, he can hold his head up extremely high. Most of the goals that went in, he was making that first save, and maybe even sometimes the one we've just seen at the end there, he was making the second save as well. So there's not a lot he can do. It's full credit. It's full credit to the Phantoms. They turned it on when they really needed to in that fifth period, and that's what made the difference.
So they get the 5 p.m. game tomorrow. They've now got just around 20 hours.
Guess what? The Hull get the 5 p.m. game tomorrow as well. So because it's called the final.
Yes. They've got the game, so they've got just under 20 hours now to recharge, to get ready for tomorrow's game. Hull get the benefit of that extra couple of hours off the ice. But of course we know the two teams now for the final. The third team, we've seen the officials out on the ice for both games now, and we won't find out until tomorrow who's going to be the third team calling the final.
It's a tight call between who's actually going to get it and who's not. It's a really tight call on that front, but that'll be interesting to see how it pans out. And I tell you what, I'm glad actually. It's the top two teams. It's the winner of the North Conference playoffs against the winners of the South Conference playoffs. Absolutely spot on. If we didn't have this nonsense of a North and South final that goes on the weekend before you play at the Final Four, and you actually just, on the Saturday, we can whinge about this sort of thing now. It's not going to ever happen in this league next season. But on the Saturday, if you just had, like today, Sheffield v Hull, great game, great to watch, one-off game for the playoff title. Then you'd also have Peterborough Bracknell going through. The winners, they win their playoffs on that night, and then the next day they play each other in the... Now that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
That's common sense. Why don't you work at the NIHL? That's common sense. No, seriously though, it is a strange setup that we have had these last couple of years as well in the current NIHL format. That's going to be changing next year, so this will be the last time we'll do the playoffs in this format. But it is, I guess, all fair now that we get North versus South, 1 versus 1, and then we will have an overall playoff champion come around 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We're going to see a great game, the top two teams from both playoffs. And what more could you ask for? If you're watching on the stream, if you're here at Coventry, if you're following on social media, what more could you ask for than the top two teams in the playoffs?
What you could ask for is a DVD of the event that you'll be able to purchase afterwards from the event from imp-uk. I know the plugs, boys. Don't worry about this one. That's what you can really want anyway. There will be DVDs of these, so if you've enjoyed the stream, thank you for those of you who enjoyed us today. Obviously, for those of you with the DVDs, you'll be able to watch the DVDs over and over again. You can watch those goals over again. Maybe you can rewind that moment and see if the goal actually went in for the Steeldogs that made it 4-4. Maybe. Straw poll upstairs, though, saying it a goal. Put your hand in the air. 1 at the end. I'm half and half. No. So 2.5 people are saying it's a goal, and everybody else up here. And they've got a crew of about 700 up here this year as well, which is really bad. Like, the expenses have gone through the roof this year for this production. Anyway, we're just talking now as we wait for the man of the matches. Who are you going for man of the matches? I'm going to...
Before we get to man of the match, the good thing is that goal, which may have been a bit controversial, did not turn out to be a game-deciding goal. That's the good thing here, is the game has been decided away from that goal.
Right then, let's do man of the matches very quickly. For me, Tim Smith for Sheffield Steeldogs, and for Peterborough Phantoms, I'm going to go for Corey McEwen.
I am going to go with... Oh, they're going to do the Steeldogs, so I have to do this quickly. I'm going to go with... Not Ashley Calvert. I wouldn't have gone with Ashley Calvert, I will be honest, but I'll do the Phantoms one. I'm going to go with Will Weldon, who's had a good game. He scored a couple of goals and he's worked hard for the whole 60.
I mean, the only reason I've chosen Corey McEwen, let's talk about Ashley Calvert, was an offensive threat for them, did put up a little bit of stuff, I think Tim Smith was superb defensively. I think, again, for a team that have conceded 9 goals, you sat there going, this guy played well defensively. Tim Smith had a great game. I think Ben Morgan was superb at the back as well. Other players going forward, you can pick out a few other guys. Nathan Salem was that usual nuisance he can be. Andy Hurst had a good game. James Spur had a good game. There's even an argument you could give it to Brandon Stones. Like, plenty of options out there. Yeah. Calvert's the man who takes home the beers for tonight, though.
He's had a solid game. He's played well. I can't doubt your decision either of Smith. He's set up some good transitional plays for the Steeldogs tonight, but Ashley Calvert is the man who gets it. He's had a good game, and for them now, that's it. Their season is over, so well done to the Steeldogs on getting to Coventry.
Yeah, and they've got some silverware, which is always important, indeed, at the end of season 2, when you can have some silverware at it rather than some plastic knife and forks. Jay Tarara winning the man of the match for the Peterborough Phantoms. To be fair, was at the heart of a lot. Plenty of assists, plenty of goals, plenty of everything.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he, for the Phantoms, and he's always there or thereabouts in the play.
Indeed. So it's Jay Tarara who takes home the man of the match beers. It's the Peterborough Phantoms who advance through to the Final Four finale tomorrow. They'll take on the Hull Pirates. Thanks to everybody for tuning in for this one. We'll be back soon with more action. Can't wait to see how it all pans out in the final.